Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, you'll have to wait to the live stream, which is on Politics Discord server. But in the meantime, I'm going to hand across to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Gotcha.
Enjoy sitting back and listen to their stories. The longer they go on, the more they put their foot in their mouth.
That's always.
Oh yeah. How you going, guys? Nathan?
Nathan wants to get coffee. He'll be right back.
No worries.
Did you manage to sort the room out?
No. I sent you a message about it yesterday and earlier today in Master B, but no, we haven't been able to. So just so you're aware, what happened was Politics assigns their own moderator to look after our room. So they look out for violations, they set up bots, help with banning, etc. So they're also responsible for setting up that room. And the moderator that we had stepped down, and we haven't had anyone basically replace her as of yet that we've had contact with.
Would that not be you?
No, it's got to be a politics moderator because we're only a room in politics, so they assign their own moderator to each room to look after the room. So we had our politics mod that looked after our room, and yeah, they resigned. So no, we're separate. We can moderate the room, but then we're moderated by politics, basically.
Okay, so the room has no official politics moderator currently, is what you're saying?
Not that I'm aware of. No one's come forward. We haven't heard from anybody. But yeah, hopefully we get something arranged soon.
Okay, when you say politics moderator, can't you just become a politics moderator?
I don't know. I don't know how that works. I'd have to maybe speak to them, message them. But yeah, they have to have a politics moderator assigned to each room. Yeah, they open the room, the stage, and help out with other tasks for us.
Okay, and there's no one else you can.
Yeah, as well as.
There's no one else you can nab in the meantime.
No, so we just have to put it through a main moderation text chat. And, I've been liaisoning with Heretic, and we haven't had anything back.
Okay, bummer. Because it just becomes a more chaotic version of FED Discord server, doesn't it? Oh, unless you're on your game. I mean, it is then completely down to you because you haven't got the tools to help you in that regard. So you've just got to be on your toes more.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm
sure we can sort it out. We'll deal with it for a few weeks. We get it done.
I got something. I've been talking to them, and they're changing the rules and how stages are going to be set up. So it's they know that we need a stage. They're just not sure exactly what it's going to look like yet, like what the procedure is. So for right now, I my understanding is all stages are suspended until they finally work out, like, this is step 1, 2, and 3 to make it fair for anyone who wants to do a stage.
Okay. I'll keep asking.
We're working on it. It might seem like we're dropping the ball here, and but yeah, it's been a constant
No.
chat. There's been a lot of mix up with the staff. Like it's been a ton of turnover. Like it's
It doesn't
all
seem
kinds of
like
drama
anything.
going on.
It's just me asking if it's possibility, and you saying no, it isn't, and this is why. It doesn't. It's not like I'm thinking detrimentally about you as a result of that. Don't worry about it. I mean, obviously,
Well,
it's
no,
nice
I
to
feel
hear
like
that
we
you're
shouldn't
working
make
on
it
it.
happen. It's a very easy thing to do. It shouldn't take this much, but there's a lot of moving parts. It just seems to keep grinding in the wrong directions.
Fair enough. Politics has its politics, by the sounds of things.
Yeah, because like some people say no more stage events because they make it seem like you've got your channel. What more do you want? Other people are like, well, yes, stage events highlight it. Because if you notice too, the atheists used to do one every Sunday. They haven't done one. There was this guy T Jump and stuff. They haven't done one at all either.
Just ask for their mod. So can you be our mod and to set up a stage for us? You haven't done one in ages. We need one. Come and be our mod for an hour.
No, they haven't had their stage either. Like it's.
Oh, you're saying
don't
they're in the
remember
same
last-
boat as you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
think
see.
the last one they did was September, like early September.
Hey, Crit, I sent you a message about stages.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. That might be a good poll for over there, but that server is not as big. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I didn't want to talk about it here on this server because it's about another server. I'm not trying to advertise any other server. It's just an option.
Yeah, you're right.
But our
Okay.
last room moderator was also very accommodating. She was quite good. And we probably not going to receive that service off any other room moderator that we get from politics. She was a great help.
Fair enough.
But we can handle it until everything sorts itself out. No problems.
Yeah, I think if we just try and work as though it was the case, and just treat the room that we're in now as like it was what you call a stage, and then hopefully there's some order kept, and we can have questions. I don't know how people would have raised their hand were they to request that they go on a stage. I don't know if that can be done in the same way in this room. I don't know how it works to ask the right questions, but either way, hopefully we can treat it as though it was that room, however that worked.
Yeah.
I don't see why it can't.
Well,
but there we go.
I'll just try and keep an eye on what's happening, and anyone who interjects, I'll mute them. But then me or one of the other moderators will pull them down and maybe introduce them as the next speaker. So we're actually introducing someone as a speaker, like we would on that staged event, and hopefully everyone else keeps quiet unless someone jumps in the middle of what's occurring and they don't understand what's sort of happening in the room.
Which is
But
fair
then,
enough.
Again, we can mute those guys.
Or just politely, I'll understand that. We're in an open room at the end of the day, so I can't, there's only so many demands we can make. So if someone just suddenly interjects, take that into account and say, well, could you step down to this room and we'll explain what's going on, or something like that, and I'll step aside to let you do your moderating, whatever it is. I'm stumbling over my words because I don't know what you'll be doing, but yeah, whatever you do, I'll step aside if it happens to happen during the live stream. But hopefully we'll just get a stream of questions like we would if we were in a room, because then it's an excellent, the way the format hopefully runs in this room will still be the same as we're trying to achieve, if you know what I mean. People asking questions for the live stream, so that it's condensed into the bit that's actually live, rather than people being shy and it coming either side when it's not as much use for the audience.
Yeah, no problems.
all of this tech talk? Where's the ballers?
There's quite a few familiar flat Earth names in the 24/7 Flat Earth Discord politics server room that we're in. So, yeah, that's the other bonus of having a room. People were like, oh, there's an event going on. Let's have a look. And then you go into the side room, presumably have a listen to what's going on and go, oh, yeah, I do have a question. Whereas in this format, it's like, well, that's just the Flat Earth room. People may or may not join. People happen to know that we're running a show, hence there's a load of Flat Earthers in here. Or familiar names, they may not be Flat Earthers. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm a
Well,
flat
this
earther.
this
I have a
time period is
question.
still advertised.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, so it's advertised in as an event in politics. Nathan Oakley in the Flat Earth room.
Can that be changed? I know this is a bit pedantic or fussy, whatever you want to call it, but the guys on the panel were a little bit put out that it was just my name on it. So I appreciate that I'm the advertising pull if people are familiar with my name, which is unlikely, but if they're looking at this arena, there might be. So it is a little bit of an advertising pull. But if it can be Nathan Oakley and FED, then that would
No,
be
I think this is
ideal.
why we have it. We have it. Yeah, Father. Let me double check the exact verbiage, but
Yeah, it's Nathan Oakley versus politics.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
The stage event was called FED, debate, flat Earth science. Let me see if I'm
not saying remove my name. I'm just saying because people might recognise it, unlikely as that may be, but it might be a bit of a draw to have my name there. So I'm not saying remove it. I'm saying if you can put Nathan Oakley and FED, because then if somebody asks a question and suddenly Adam pipes up, they're like, I thought I was asking Nathan Oakley a question. Whereas if it says in the title, Nathan Oakley and FED, at least there's a small awareness that you might get an answer from somebody who just can't help himself on the panel and really wants to answer, which often happens.
Yeah, no problems.
I was not one of them.
Get it done.
Neil knew how to be subservient in that moment. He wants you to know.
No. I was not one of the complainers.
Okay.
First of all, when they see Nathan Oakley, they know they're coming with flat Earth debate. So there's going to be a panel.
Not necessarily, Neil. And just with the addition of 4 extra characters, as in and FED, then at least when they read it, they'll go, oh, and FED. Don't even know what that means, but there's an and there.
I was just going to say, what if they don't know what FED means?
Doesn't matter. Nathan Oakley and versus politics. They'll just know there might be someone else.
Could be Nathan Oakley and the Peanut Gallery.
Nah, they're not the peanut gallery. Learned researchers you're insulting there. We call our Discord, and by our Discord I mean Flat Earth Debate Discord, which isn't mine, it's run by Righteous Force, but nevertheless, we call that the Peanut Gallery. Here we're, again, privileged guests. We wouldn't dare call this the Peanut Gallery.
Band of Merry Men.
Nathan Oakley and the Band of Merry Men.
Indeed.
I thought we should have been called the Regulators a long time ago.
Why?
Like the Young Guns
You
movie.
living back in the 80s and
Regulators,
90s.
saddle up.
If you say so.
I mean, we do regulate what goes on here, don't we?
No.
No, we don't.
No.
Started saying Earth is measured flat. It was another crew that I never heard of that came out with that. It was another crew that came out with freaking elevation angles. It's another crew that came out with celestial navigation. It was a different crew that came out with the Black Swan. We regulate, baby.
That's not regulating. Look up regulate,
Go
Neil.
watch Young Guns. You're being a bit pedantic.
No, it's just the
It
wrong
means
word.
slow down, to bring to a stop. Like the
In any
opposite
event,
of regulating.
we don't need to give ourselves a title. We just talk about how Earth is.
Geez, God, it sounds good in the movie Young Guns. Regulators saddle up.
Yeah, you've got these delusions of grandeur where you want to be like in a group that's got a cool name and that. I don't really understand that, to be honest.
Yeah, I got delusions. I'm freaking 60 years old installing flooring. I got delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, you want to be in a group with a cool name. You want to be the equalizers or the regulators or the abandoners. I don't know what you want to be called, but you've got some name for the group.
Equalizers.
Because of what we do, we
I
stand for
like that.
justice and flat earth measurements and the American way.
I like that. Equalizers. The
What the hell are we
equalizers.
equalizing? Oh, shush.
And you can go head to head with GF6.
Yeah, it's the same kind of wankery, isn't it? Calling yourself Globe Force 6. Why? Do you envisage yourselves in spandex? What are you doing?
Because the Earth's a globe, we're a force, like Coriolis, and there's 6 of us.
Well, like illusionary.
I think they're down to just 2 though now.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just Mez and Peter. Like all the rest, the other guys quit.
How sad. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be in a little gang of superhero anti-flatties or flatties, then more power to you, I guess. You know, you be you. The more time progresses, the more I realise it's not that serious. Right. The world, in terms of how it's dealt with, isn't changing. There's a step in between that if you look into your religious belief that you were given at birth, you'll find a load of nonsense and lies and contradictions. Okay. But if you don't include that in between step, there's a disconnect between how Earth's dealt with, flat, and how you're led to believe Earth is, globe-shaped. But it doesn't concern anybody. Now, if you insert the in-between step, that is to say you look into the fact that you deal with Earth as a flat plane, in contradiction with your belief that you were given at birth, then what you'll find is that grey area that we sit in that I just described, where there's the contradictions in the definitions of things and lots of anti-flat earthers telling people that flat earthers are stupid, false dichotomy arguments that go round in circles forever. This grey area is massive, and we occupy it. But on either side of that grey area, you've got, okay, people who do believe in the world being a ball and look into it when they're looking into their religion, okay? And on the other side of that grey area, you've got people who deal with, measure, navigate, build on the earth flat. And the two can quite happily interact, as long as they're unaware of the grey area. Yeah, and most people, 90%, 99% perhaps, who knows, somewhere in between that number, they are completely unaware of that grey area, where we occupy, in the censored depths of YouTube. And as much as I can be moaning about how we are censored, it's like, are we censored? Comparatively speaking to the anti-flat earthers, it might seem like we're heavily censored, and we are, don't get me wrong. But so are they. Do you think Simon Dan's ever going to become Joe Rogan? No. Because he's not going to be prevalent in the list. It's not like he's going on the front pages and going to be making it into the trending lists either. The whole subcategory's censored. But it's just of any, available searches that do make it to us, they'll favour Dan over us. So it seems like he's getting favourable treatment. Probably not. It's not like his anti-flat earthism is going to suddenly make him a trending topic, is it? So from that perspective, you're like, yeah, we might be 2 or 3% worse off. But in the big scheme of things, the whole grey area is shoved to the bottom of the list, isn't it? Then you just have to look outside of either side of the grey area and you go, yeah, on the one side you've got people who are staunch believers in this globe, and on the other side you've got people who deal with and measure and navigate and sail on and fly over Earth as a flat plane. So, yeah, it's not that serious. Do you know what I mean? Have to worry about converting people or worry about us seeming like a superhero group of grey area converters. It's just not that serious. But if you come across the grey area and you want to find the connection between the two, that is now what we offer as of 2024. You can say this is where the two grey areas link. Here's where your bald belief lies, and here's the measurements it came from. There's the connection through the grey area, avoiding all the fuzz and all the anti-flat earth rhetoric and contradictions. There's the two connected together. That's what I feel like I offer at this point in time.
Simon Dan did a Kickstart or a GoFundMe to get new equipment and all kinds of stuff for his season 2 of debooking, and he got maybe like 10% of what he was asking for.
Hold on. Necros, are you wanting to say something because you're just hot micing, flashing on and off? Thank you. There again, Crit.
That Simon Dan did some sort of GoFundMe Kickstarter thing. It got like no funding at all that he asked for.
For
It's
what?
like, I want to do another season. Like, help me like get better interviews, more equipment for experiments. And like he couldn't even get someone to throw him a couple nickels for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I mean, he's because he is slightly algorithmically favoured. He earns enough money from his YouTube views to be buying stuff like that if he wants it. You know, reinvesting all the money he has into it wouldn't be a stretch and still have enough to live on. But instead, he's appealing to his audience by way of GoFundMe. Well, I mean, not that I'm decrying anybody to do that, but it's a necessity that people will support things like that. As in, oh, you need to go and get this telescope. You need to buy a new computer. Therefore, we need to support you if we value your content. Now, people are just being presented with this content, and they watch it, and that pays the bills, but he wants more. Well, everybody always wants more, don't they? Now, me, I do the same thing. I'll do a GoFundMe. But it's normally, oh my God, if I don't get this fixed, there will be no show. And the people who go, oh God, we appreciate that you don't earn a great deal of money doing what you do. You're a tiny little channel. And we love it. We'll give you the money to make sure that that is facilitated by whatever piece of equipment that you're funding. And I still have to shout it out and encourage everybody to contribute, and it takes a little while, like anybody who's on a campaign fund trail would expect. But I do eventually raise whatever it is that I need to raise to get by. But Dan, there's no necessity, is there? Does Dan need to be upping his game? No, he just repeats what's on Wiki about the globe. In that grey area we were talking about earlier. So, right, you need to, up your game and produce better stuff so you can become Joe Rogan? That'll never happen for you either, Dan. Just accept it. You're in the grey area. You might be a perceived bigger fish by the way YouTube promotes him, but you're still in the same pond. A lot of them have got wise to it and gone, sod this anti-flat earth malarkey. I'll just start covering courtrooms and law and people being arrested and things like that. Puff Daddy's been arrested, I'll cover that. You're like, yeah, that's how you'll get on the front page algorithmically if that's what you're going for. I can understand that totally with the YouTube hat on. Like, yeah, well, which one am I more interested and passionate about? Getting on the front pages or talking about flat earth? Well, as you can probably tell, talking about flat earth brings a big smile to my face. And life isn't just about getting on the front page and making more money. The joy of the support that I do get when I get it. So that's why I'm babbling on about this, because it's nicely contrasted by Dan. He doesn't have passionate, enthusiastic supporters that will go to, to the scrapings of their pocket to help me out. Because we're not talking about loads of rich people that are suddenly dishing out cash because they just feel it's necessary for me. We're talking about average Joe with a few spare quid that might give it me because I need a new bulb for my projector. And they'll give it gratefully and be pleased that I'm back on the road doing the show that they love as a result. And that gives you, in spite of it not being riches and being able to buy me a nice house or anything, it's something that enthuses me so much that it makes me favour one over the other. The subject matter and the community that I've built over getting on the front pages of YouTube. Because I'd just cover something else. That would get me there 100,000 times quicker. So why cover Flat Earth at all? Well, it's like, well, because of that community, because of that passion that Dan is obviously sorely lacking, in spite of having a lot more people following him. The perceived support for Dan is high. The reality is people can give a toss. They get their little affirmation bias for Globe and move on with their day. They give a toss about Dan. No. But when I put out my appeals, do people actually care about me as an individual? Yes, they do. And that's heartwarming. Truly heartwarming. People are a lot more passionate about flat Earth than they are about anti-flat Earth. The only people who go to anti-flat Earth are just looking to confirm their bias. That's it. Once they get that little fix, they're done with Dan or McToon or whoever they're getting it from, aren't they? A little bit of pain relief, that's all they're offering. And again, it's supply and demand, isn't it? There's more people slightly figuring out that this might be a skew, something is awry, and they need to figure out what, and then they find Dan, and temporarily or otherwise, maybe it's permanent, they alleviate that concern. Dan serves that purpose. And given that, according to the stats, there's more and more flat earthers, there's going to be more and more people that need to be stemmed, or the flow of their cognition needs to be stemmed by someone like Dan. So there's definitely a market for it, as much as we can moan about algorithmic censorship. Go on, Neil. What do you want? He's just putting his hand up. I don't know. Well, hopefully it'll be fun. We're starting in about 15 minutes. I'll do a proper introduction so you'll all get to hear that. I'm going to shout out my patrons as I've forgotten to do it, so I'm going to do that when I go live. So if you're like, God, this guy's babbling on. Yeah, well, you know in advance that I'm going to shout out my patrons. Which I do daily with all sincerity. As we've obviously got a quiet gap, when we do go live in about 10 or 15 minutes time, please don't swear. Try and keep it PG as much as possible. And also, for those of you who are unaware that have come as a guest, the whole purpose of us being here is to proactively inform you, that is to say, the Flat Earth 24/7 section of the Politics Discord server, that Earth is measured flat. And furthermore, the ball is based on those measurements. That's what we're here to convey to flat earthers who need to be saved from their flat earth belief, or globers who are unaware of the origins of their globe belief. Either way, that's our purpose in being here, in case you were unaware why we're yakking on about patronage and support from YouTubers when it comes to flat earth. Idle chit-chat regards now, but when it gets to the actual live show, hopefully a few of you have got some questions lined up. Yes, Nathan, we're all really keen and have got loads of questions. Oh, well, I'm pleased to hear it.
Yes, the equalizers are here.
Terminators.
Well, I've heard some great globe evidences this week that I can share with you.
Hold on, I'll just cue up the clown music. Go ahead.
Immigration proves the globe.
Hold on. When you say you've got some globe earth evidence, do you mean you've got some baseless assertions with nothing to standardise the actual claim?
Plenty of them this week. I said that was the first one. Immigration.
A baseless assertion that makes no sense. This is non sequitur. The two aren't connected in any way. Yeah, you need to actually explain how it's claiming to prove anything. Fine, but useless.
Oh, I'll go to number 2 then. When this guy was in the Navy, they took him to a high hill, the only hill that sees curvature.
Is that it?
That's it.
I mean, without him being here, my first question would be, what's curvature? Now, I know from their rhetoric that Earth curve is based on the Earth curve maths, which would just dictate that their claim of Earth curve derived from surface level that's flat is at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. We debunked that in 2020. Black Swan, distance to horizon beyond the geometric limitations at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, aka up a hill. Yeah, that's laid down in your maths. That uses surface level and parallel eye level. Flat Earth is required to make that inference that there's a Earth curve edge below surface level in orthographic view. So, in spite of him not being here, I probably wouldn't have done that on the spot with him. I'd have just asked him, what do you think Earth curve is? Garbage.
So then why are they going to Antarctica, Sir Nathan?
Okay, I'll explain why Neil's asking that, just because it's not left hanging out there. I don't know if you guys are aware that there's currently a push to have this thing called the final experiment, where apparently, if we observe a phenomena of the sun observed to stay above the horizon for a 24-hour period, it will either affirm the consequent for a flat Earth or affirm the consequent for a globe, depending on what they do or do not see. That's the current position. Now, what Neil's pointing out by asking what he's just asked is, by going down to Antarctica to see whether or not the sun will be observed for 24 hours, it automatically infers that the person following this train of thought, which is fallacious, does not already know. So ipso facto, Dan, Dave McKeegan, Toon, the host himself, whose name I've Will Duffy, they all don't know that Earth is a globe because they're seeking confirmation of that fact. Now, it isn't a fact that mathematical extrapolation comes from flat Earth measurements, and I know this, therefore have no need or desire to affirm anything by travelling thousands of miles. But they do. Same goes for the flat Earth side, as we were pointing out prior to Quantum Eraser, I think it was, or Brian, I forget which, pointed this out. It might have been me. It might have been me that pointed this out initially, actually. Initially, we just pointed out, if you need to go down to Antarctica as a flat earther, then you don't know it's flat. We know it's flat. Earth's measured flat. It creates the globe that they believe in. Therefore, there's no need for you as a flat earther to go down to Antarctica to affirm this belief in flat Earth that you currently hold if you know how Earth's measured. But that's the same on the globe side. They don't know it's a globe, is the point of this. I know that was long, Neil, but is that the reason why you asked? I'm assuming the answer's yes.
Could not have explained it halfway as good as that.
They don't know. They are also globe believers. Now, often that'll be disclaimed, but you maybe don't recognise the significance. So, in spite of their open admission of this fact, they don't know they're on a globe. They're not. We know how that belief came to pass, based on flat Earth measurements. But up until this point, it's been an assumption, well, they state, we know we're on a globe. Why are you going down to Antarctica then? If you know, what's the point? You don't know. You believe and need to confirm it. And this will be the final confirmation of your bias towards this extrapolation from flat Earth measurements. Yeah, I don't have a need to go down there. They do on both sides of the argument. It's just amusing, that's all.
Yeah, it's the flat earthers that have no interest in this. They're the ones that know Earth is flat, so it means nothing.
Yeah, we already know.
Hey, Nathan, do you have a YouTube channel that you post anything to?
This will get posted live in about 10 minutes. So this will go live on
but where?
Nathan Oakley 1980 is the channel name.
Oh boy, you should probably link it to your Discord.
I don't have a Discord.
What?
I'm just a guest here. This is not my Discord. I don't have a Discord. I'm just a guest.
So then whose account is this that you're on?
Please don't swear. I'm on my own account, Nathan Oakley 1980. That's me talking, flashing now.
I wish I was in your head to understand half of what you are.
Regis, he's saying that he doesn't have his own Discord channel represent his own YouTube channel. You're looking for his Discord He said it's just his personal account.
No,
that he
to
uses.
link his YouTube to his Discord profile.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. Why?
Okay.
Why is that so hard to understand?
I was asking for a reason, but okay.
Okay, now I'll give him a reason because I'm ignorant and don't really know how Discord works. That's the real reason. I have no idea how any of this stuff works. There you go.
That's kind of cute. Anyway, let me see. I found your channel.
No worries. I do a much better job of debating the things I do know than operating software that I'm unfamiliar with and haven't learned. I've been using this software for about 3 years. I just joined the voice chat. It was a struggle to go from a different server that I typically use for my show to this one. It took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to just go into a different server. But here we are, and you can hear me. Hopefully the audio is clear.
That Antarctica thing, Nick, it's like the last grasp of desperation, I think, because since we've had the elevation angle and the latitude measurements, and we can demonstrate and explain how Earth's measured flat, these globers are running scared now. So in their mind, they think, well, if we do see a light in the sky for 24 hours, that's definitely going to prove we live on a globe, and it'll end all this latitude measurement evidence and latitude and celestial navigation. It'll just all disappear and go away because we can say, well, we've seen this light, so it must be a globe. And that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, well, that's the sales pitch. I mean, thank you, Will Duffy, for the sales. Yeah, that's the sales pitch, isn't it? And they can appeal that pitch to both sides. Both of the sides that believe one way or another can have their belief either dashed or affirmed. No, it's an affirming the consequent fallacy for both parties, flat earthers and globers. They don't know that, but they're still being sold a trip, and there's lots of crowdfunding going on. So yeah, wonderful stuff.
What I think is
Nathan.
Oh, go ahead, T.
Yes.
Nathan, can I quickly say something before I go on mute?
Yeah, as long as it's family friendly.
Absolutely. Yeah. With this 24-hour Antarctic thing, they're saying that if there is, it will prove a globe. Now, how does it prove a globe? Because I can clearly see the Earth is flat. It's a horizontal flat plane. And my job, I cover like 500 miles a week, and at no point do I see anything upside down. So how does it the 24-hour sun prove that Earth is around?
It doesn't.
It's not going to prove.
It doesn't, and it doesn't prove it's flat either. So it's called an affirming the consequent formula. You'd have to bear with me while I explain it to you. Just chill. It's if you assume you are on the bottom of a ball. That's called a begging the question fallacy. It's assuming the outcome you're trying to prove. So that's your P statement. If I assume I'm on the bottom of a ball when I go to Antarctica, if P, then Q, we will observe 24-hour sun. Yeah, that's Q. If P, then Q. If I assume...
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I understand.
Oh my God,
now.
I haven't finished. I mean, I could just stop halfway through explaining the logical fallacy that I've been asked about because somebody wants to say, oh my God, through the top of me. Or alternatively, you could try and listen and learn what this fallacy is. I'm breaking it down as I explain it. I'll try again. If I assume I'm on the bottom of a pool, P, then Q, I'll observe 24-hour sun. I do observe 24-hour sun, Q. Therefore, P, I'm on the bottom of a ball. That's the fallacy. The fallacy is that one doesn't necessarily follow the other, but you can use one to affirm the other by putting it into a fallacious statement. If I assume I'm on the bottom of a ball and then I observe 24-hour sun, then I'm on the bottom of a ball. No, you're not. It doesn't prove anything. Likewise, if I don't see a 24-hour sun, the Earth is flat. I didn't see 24-hour sun in Antarctica, therefore Earth's flat. No. Same exact fallacy. Hope that's clear. Affirming the consequent is the name of the fallacy. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P.
So, Nathan, you wouldn't happen to be grifting at all, would you?
Zero response to me breaking down the fallacious reasoning of travelling to Antarctica. Response, are you grifting? No, I've got two children, and now I'm answering him. Now I'm answering this dick that hasn't shut up. I'm answering you. Am I grifting? I heard your frigging question, and now I'm responding to it. No, I'm not grifting. Telling people how Earth is measured and breaking down fallacious logic is not a grift. It takes a little bit of discipline and knowledge of fallacy for me to break down these garbage reasonings that are used by people who believe they're on a globe to profit by way of publishing it on a YouTube channel that takes up my entire life to feed my kids. How dare you even infer that I'm grifting, sir? No, I am not.
That's generally my take from Will Duffy, is that he's the one who's grifting, because he's like, hey, all you heathens out there, all you atheists, I'm a young Earth creationist, and I'll help you defeat the flat earthers. Just send me a bunch of money, and I'll sponsor a trip to Antarctica. And he says, but I'm also a millionaire, and I can pay for it if the funding doesn't come through.
Yeah, I don't care. He's not here to defend any of this.
So you can live off of like $500 a month?
So why are you asking me this? Who the hell are you?
What's wrong with them?
Because that's what your Patreon makes. You even posted
Who
about
the hell are you to ask me these questions? How dare you?
He's a globe with no globe proof.
Who are you and why are you asking me this?
Typical. This is Regis.
He's in pain.
What
Regis,
difference does
I
it
give
make?
you one opportunity to keep it on topic, man. Otherwise, you're going to have to stay on mute, dude. Nothing personal, nothing about money. We're here to discuss the nature of Earth.
Yeah, that's what they've got. Attack the man. It's called an ad hominem fallacy. No address to me breaking down the fallacious reasoning of travelling to Antarctica to affirm the consequent. It's suddenly a discussion about whether I'm grifting. Thank you, Paula.
Yeah, you think he'd be coming on saying, well, Nathan, you're actually incorrect. This is how the sun in the sky for 24 hours does prove a globe. Even though it doesn't. That's what he should be coming back with, as a rebuttal to what we're saying. But they haven't got a rebuttal for it.
Exactly.
The grift thing is, a lot of the atheists like to use that because that was a hard counter to the third wave atheism, like Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins and stuff. A lot of the Christians were like, hey, these guys are grifters. They're not going to usher in a new age of atheism. They're just selling you merchandise and books and stuff. They give two shits about any sort of new wave of atheism. And then when they finally got proven, all the Christians were right, that these guys were just a bunch of grifters. So now they're bummed. They're like, well, that's a huge attack line. And a lot of the atheists have since adopted that anyone they disagree with must be a grifter like they are.
Yeah, it's non sequitur. Do they have good arguments for their position or not? Anybody, not atheists. Anybody.
I guess boats falling over the edge of the globe isn't proof enough for him anymore.
They debunked it in 2020 with the black swan. The geometric physical sphere edge in the Earth curve maths is derived from surface level that's flat. Earth must be flat to infer that you've got a sphere edge below surface level. Debunked in 2020, if Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, every distance to horizon measurement could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Distance to horizon in the black swan is beyond 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere, and the horizon is not Earth curve. The horizon is our hill. It's been debunked 5 years ago.
Refraction.
So not a hill then.
Refraction.
Yeah, so not a hill. Yeah, so not Earth curve. Yeah, we've done it for 5 years.
Welcome, guys.
Yeehaw. Now, unfortunately, as I found out in the pre-show, the Politics 24/7 Discord server is lacking an official politics moderator currently, which means that, again, unfortunately, we won't be proceeding on what is I now know is called a stage in politics vernacular. Therefore, we're just going to be running it from their normal room known as 24/7 Flat Earth, I believe. So, yeah, we're not going to be as slick as usual, but I'm assured that the mods will be on their game, ready to pass over questions, however that is going to be done. So whether or not we sit in silence in this live show, waiting for next man to come up with the question, or we're handed somebody on a plate by a Discord 24/7 mod, I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, we're live. Happy days. Did anybody have a question lined up, or do you not know? AJ?
No one had a question lined up at the moment, unless you want to talk to Regis again, but I've got him on server mute. I think he's a waste of time.
This was a guy who had on me about whether or not I'm a grifter in the pre-show, right?
Yeah, correct.
I mean, I don't think he's got any relevant questions or harassed them in response to us pointing out the fallacious reasoning of TFE. Well, there we go. He didn't. He wanted to ad hom me about whether I'm on grifting, individual or not. No, I'm not. No, I just run a YouTube channel trying to earn money to pay for the mortgage and my kids to eat and stuff like that. I'm not grifting in any way, shape or form. Occasionally I do a GoFundMe if a piece of crap equipment breaks, which is often the case. Entropy is a bummer. It also demonstrates that there is no sky vacuum. Gas would fill that availability of volume if the sky was a vacuum, as is claimed to be travelled through by men in spacesuits designed to keep the gas inside when they look back at Earth with no containment. So entropy's a bummer, and occasionally I have to do a GoFundMe to fix a light bulb in a projector, or a graphics card in a computer, or an amplifier, or a preamp for a mic. But that doesn't make me a grifter. It makes me a YouTuber. I think that addressed the Regis, if that's his name's question. Was there any actual questions in regards to the nature of reality?
Find out.
Just a quick, while we wait. Yeah. What we really want is these globers coming on, not asking questions, providing their so-called evidence, which we know they've not got, of how Earth curve, in their mind, is measured. Because we don't tend to get that. They come on asking Nathan questions about how does this work on a flat Earth? How does that work on a flat Earth? You've got a claim you live on a globe. Bring it forward. Tell us how it's measured.
If you're fast enough fingers and my latency is low enough, you'll get a free membership because it's just been gifted 10 by Jardo in the super chats. Thank you very much for gifting 10 memberships, Jardo. And shout out to all of them who picked it up because they either typed or have been watching the show long enough to get gifted a free membership. There are a whole bunch of OMETV videos waiting to be viewed if you are a new member. None of them have been released. There's, I think, 4 or 5 of them that will get released over this weekend. So feel free to check those out as a member for free. You'll get them in a couple of days anyway, but there we go.
How come I wasn't given a heads up that that's going to happen so I could at least try to get a membership? God, no.
Let's not moan about that when we're in politics Discord server and there might be someone itching to ask a question about globe Earth, flat Earth, or as Rondex just suggested, offer up their measurements of a globe. There aren't any measurements of a globe. They're all flat.
Locally flat.
No, it can't. One of the OME videos that I did over the last weekend showed exactly that. Some guy holding up a ball saying this can be measured flat. Oh yeah, in your mind it can be. But that's how we measure it, flat. The fact that you believe it's a ball because you can zoom out from a flat area, as he was telling me. It's like, no, you don't zoom out, you just measure Earth flat. As you well know.
And the Greeks knew that. Eratosthenes measured it flat. And Al-Biruni.
They all knew that.
Knew that.
Yeah, that's how we all measure it. That's what I was talking about in the pre-show with the grey area. On one side of the grey area, you've got how we actually deal with Earth, and people don't bear it any consequence in terms of their globe faith when they do measure Earth flat. Then you've got on the other side of the grey area, people who are staunch believers in the globe and will look up, I don't know, the sky at night videos describing heliocentrism. And again, it has no consequence in terms of how our Earth is actually dealt with and measured. In between, if you ponder, well, I wonder how Earth is measured, given that I believe I'm on a globe, you'll find yourself in this grey area of crud where we exist, where everyone's fighting in false dichotomies and suggesting that what's important about how the sun presents itself is derivative of a globe Earth or flat Earth. You know, that's the kind of grey area we exist in. And what I hope to offer in places like the Discord server we're currently residing in today is that link between the two. You know, your globe faith comes from measurements of a flat Earth. Here's how they convert if you are interested. Circumventing, if that's the right word, that grey area of nonsense waffle where people argue about whether or not there's a globe Earth or flat Earth. The facts of how Earth is dealt with are facts. They're not disputable. Earth's measured flat. Earth is flat. There's no two ways about it. You can believe you're on a globe all you like, and when you look into the genesis of the globe, it comes from those measurements of a flat Earth, angles to the stars specifically. I don't know how many newbies there are in this Discord server, but if you didn't know you were on a flat plane, now you do. Welcome to Flat Earth.
We're all quiet at the moment.
That's right. As I said last time I came, these Discord shows require the most moderation, the most work and preparation, advertising for the Discord server. For me, it's a fairly intense period when we do get into debating with whoever turns up. But they're the most censored of my shows. When they originally go out, for the first 24 hours, you can't even click on it if you go to my front page and try and select the video. It'll show you the thumbnail and it won't click if you press on it. Don't ask me why. Well, I know why. It's dangerous.
I was saying before, Nathan, did Brian contact that Will Duffy regarding to providing any pitch data? Brian's been looking into that. I know this pitch data, which is a absolute globe destroyer. Was any comeback on that from the Will Duffy Glober team?
No. No, they just press on. Deflector shields at 100%. Ignore it. If Will Duffy can spin it into something that makes it seem more valid, he'll spin it. Like us saying there's no hypothesis for this experiment. This isn't science, it's fraud. What does he do? He leans into it. This is a scientific method that we're... No, you're not. You bloody fraud liar. But he's leaning into it. That's what frauds do. Double down.
I mean, well, you know, even if you did see a light in the sky, like you say, it's only going to lead back to like, well, you know, well, I wonder, I've observed that. What's the cause of that? Well, I'm going to presume the cause of that is that I'm on the underneath of a globe and it's sphere shaped. Okay, then how are we going to prove that? We're going to have to do some measurements, aren't we?
Antipodal assumptions aren't variable as an independent variable. It is in a complete category error. Unless you're trying to validate what causes the 24-hour sun. Now, if you're trying to validate what causes that as a phenomena, which I'll accept, if it exists, let's go in to see if it does or doesn't. But if they say, let's just take it as read that it does, okay, I'll accept that as a phenomena. So now you put that through the hypothesis stage of constructing something that you can vary and manipulate to see if it causes that effect. That's an experiment. Oh, he's calling going and seeing if it happens an experiment, isn't he? Yeah, that's fraud. But you could suppose a cause of that 24-hour sun, vary and manipulate it to see if it induces the effect or not. That would be an experiment, an actual experiment. But what's the outcome? What you'd validate is the cause of the 24-hour sun. That's what you'd validate. So you could make a statement, this, when varied, caused that, which we observed. Like all validatable scientific hypotheses. They all take that construction. They all take that methodology. It is the scientific method that Will Duffy's claiming he's following. What, by looking at whether or not something happens? That's definitely not an adherence to the scientific method. Definitely fraud. That needs all sides contributing to GoFundMes. Ka-ching. And yet I'm asked if I'm a fraud and I'm a charlatan and I'm a scammer. Yeah. Okie dokie. 82 people watching. This total silence from this Discord server.
Silence is golden.
Not when you're running a live show. Plenty of people in here. Someone must have a question.
Or unless it's the silence of the lambs. That's pretty terrifying too, I hear.
It just takes a while to figure out a real question when all you have is insults and questions about your finances.
Oh, it's just one guy.
All right, well, I got a question. Do you guys think that because of the back of the eyeball is curved, the further you get from the Earth face down looking out, that's why people are seeing some curve or thinking they're seeing some curve? What is the curve they're seeing? They all claim to see that I don't see. Is it their eyeballs are flat? Maybe
No.
they got flat eyeballs?
No, their claim is that you've got a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet as per the Earth curve maths. That's what they're claiming is curve. It isn't. We debunked that in 2020.
So the Earth isn't spinny, they're spinny.
No, nothing's spinning. The stars move at 15 degrees an hour.
Yeah, but doesn't a gyroscope do that too?
No. A gyroscope's principle is
Oh.
that it remains fixed in free space. That's its useful attributes that you can utilize for things like flight when referencing level. That's what it's used for. If it deviates, it's broken.
Huh, interesting. I've never played with a gyroscope. I just heard that it goes off 15 degrees every hour or something like that.
And that's what the stars do. If a gyro drifted at 15 degrees an hour, and you were to infer that as a globe suggestion, then that would suggest that the cage attached to the ground has deviated from its position as Earth rotates underneath the fixed spinning frame of the gyroscope itself. So if you're saying the cage drifts at 15 degrees an hour, that is a globe Earth claim. It's called Coriolis effect. The claim that we have two separate reference frames, Earth turning underneath at 15 degrees an hour to cause the stars that aren't really moving, Earth's turning underneath. They claim that that causes drift in a gyro. If that was the case, then a flight from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles would only take an hour and a half because Earth would be turning underneath it. It doesn't.
Yeah, Coriolis, my assy holus. I don't believe that either. Like long distance shooters can pretty much prove that it's wind drift, spin drift from the bullet, stuff like that. I've never witnessed Coriolis shooting out past 300 or 400. And
Coriolis is
who's
real.
really shooting out past
Don't get
1,000?
confused. She's saying you never witnessed it. Coriolis is very much a real illusion that you can observe. If you are standing or sitting on a roundabout, turning around, and there are two people either side of the roundabout, not on the roundabout, tossing a ball over the top of you, one to the other, back and forth, in a straight line. As you look up, that ball will look like it curves. That's Coriolis effect. The same claim for a globe Earth that's turning is you're turning under the stars. They seem to curve at 15 degrees an hour. They don't, according to the globe Earth rhetoric. It's claimed Earth turns underneath. If Earth turns underneath, then a flight from Charlotte, Carolina to Los Angeles would only take an hour and a half because Earth would be turning underneath it. Earth doesn't turn underneath anything. We're not turning. But Coriolis is real. You can observe it on a roundabout. It just doesn't apply to the surface of the ground we're standing on. We don't observe Coriolis effect. If we did, the consequence would be flight times would be reduced.
Don't they teach that in like grade 5 or grade 6 that a flight from Australia to Africa is shorter than a flight from Africa to Australia or something like that?
Maybe. Regardless, the claim is that Earth is turning underneath as a separate non-inertial reference frame. If that is the case, then we would notice, because lots of consequential things would happen. You'd launch a drone, and as it hovers, Earth would turn underneath it. If you were on the equator, that would mean the drone that you launched off the ground and simply hovered would whiz away at 1,000 miles an hour, not because it's flying 1,000 miles an hour, Earth's turning underneath at 15 degrees an hour as your drone whizzes away from you at 1,000 miles an hour, as nobody's ever observed ever. We don't have this effect. When they claim the effect is in observation, it's using things like bullets. What's something that remains in the air for 2 seconds? They say Earth turns underneath the bullet, causing it to deflect. All right. Well, then a blimp hovering above a stadium would have the stadium turning away from the blimp at a rate of 15 degrees an hour, the same as they're claiming would happen with the bullet. It doesn't. The only reason they use bullets in the example is because they're only in the air for a fraction of a few moments. Therefore, you don't notice that this is a nonsensical claim that would have much wider reaching implications if it were true.
Yeah, because if you're off by a centimeter on your aim, 1,000 yards downrange, you're going to be off by like 10 feet, 20 feet. So it's kind of the same for that math, right? Like if it's happening at this fraction of a second, if the flight time is longer, technically you should see more of that, right? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, well, when you say what they're talking about, that brings in Roger Ledwell's super chat nicely. Your reference frames are completely ruined, says Roger Ledwell. Yeah, so when we point out as flat earthers, I don't do this anymore, I find this argument tedious and annoying, but when we used to, or I used to point this out to globers, they would then start arguing for why we wouldn't notice the effect. Oh, we wouldn't notice the two reference frames are as one. It retains the velocity of the Earth that's you're like, so there's no effect then? So there's no Coriolis effect? Because there's only one. It's like you need 2 reference frames and one turning under the other to give you this effect. If you say we wouldn't notice, then there is no effect. There's no proof we turn. There isn't an effect. Why would they want to negate it and explain why there isn't any effect to notice? Because there isn't any effect to notice. There is no Coriolis drift on Earth. Coriolis is real. Earth just doesn't exhibit that effect. Shout out to Roger Ledwell for the super chat. Thank you very much for the support.
It's funny, all the globe claims are similar to, aren't they? Like, you know, we've got Coriolis, but you don't actually witness it. The Earth's spinning, but you can't feel it, and the Earth's curved, but you'll never see it. How bizarre!
Yeah, you and your reference frames have been ruined is Simon Dan's quote to me, like me suggesting that we should have a drift on a globe Earth that turns would be annihilated by showing that there isn't one. Like, you're the one with a claim that there's drift. You're the one that needs 2 reference frames, and you're telling me that they're ruined? Yeah, because we don't exhibit this effect on Earth. So they've got to explain why we don't see it happen. By telling me that the reference frames are ruined. What, the 2 that you need to claim there's 15 degrees an hour drift, Simon Dan, you complete idiot that doesn't understand this stuff. What an idiot. But we've got a guy that's currently frequenting the other server that I typically go in Monday to Thursday, Flat Earth Debate server, called Angels, and he's out on the circuit and he seems to have a firm grip. I was going to say grasp or grip, mix the 2 together. He's got a firm grip on the Coriolis effect and likes arguing it. Now, I've never enjoyed arguing it, although I do understand it. I find it tedious. But he's out there currently arguing it, so you might see Angels, I think it's called Angels of Light, out on the circuit debating about 2 reference frames versus no effect to see, nothing to see here. Why would we expect to see anything drifting at 15 degrees an hour to prove we spin that we're not noticing because it doesn't happen? So he's out there doing that currently. If you enjoy that kind of debate, I'm not all for it. I just don't like the subject. It's boring.
I like him. He's a good dude. And he's on point.
Yeah, he's
With
99,
almost everything.
99% there, right? He doesn't need very much refinement to be completely lethal in all regards. He gets suckered in, he gets Jedi mind tricked into arguing the false dichotomies that they lay down in response when he could have already ended the argument. But that's a bit like Brian. He likes to do that too. Gains them a better understanding of their opponent, I guess. There are benefits to doing it that way. I just don't like doing it that way. Just want to end the argument as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because as soon as you start talking about all that, you say, well, you believe you're on a globe then? Yeah, I do. But how's it measured?
Yeah, that's the end. Bye-bye. How's it measured?
The end.
It isn't measured globe-shaped, but the inference that you're on a globe comes from flat Earth measurements. That's the extrapolated basis for your globe belief. Earth's measured flat to give you your belief. You don't have to like it, Earth's measured flat.
It's great, isn't it? Earth's measured flat, and we can explain how it's measured flat. And you've got no rebuttal for that.
At the moment, we're trying to fish people out of the grey area, aren't we? Come over to the bit that all the globies also share. That is, we accept and understand that we will measure Earth flat. But it's only because it's so big. If I zoom out, the bit I've just measured flat really is globe-shaped. No. So where's your measurement of a globe? Oh, there isn't one. Where did you believe that it came from? Oh, it came from the flat Earth measurements. Yeah, it did, didn't it? So we've got flat Earth measurements and nothing else. And you can use those to make a ball with, for you to believe that you get measurements off that when you zoom out after measuring it flat. Gotcha. So if we all reside on that side of the grey area where everybody understands that we're measuring Earth flat without exception, then there is no grey area. We don't need to be in that little zone of, well, what if the sun does this during an eclipse? I don't give a toss.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolute beautiful. No, you don't. That's it. Just got it down to the bare knuckles now. You know, this is how it's measured. Elevation angles, sea level, latitude. It's used for mapping. It's used for navigation. It's how we navigate across the surface of Earth. It's all flat Earth elevation angle measurements. Nothing to do whatsoever with curvature. Never has been.
Shout out to the price of Adam. You'll need a flat Earth for that globe. You will indeed. Thank you for the super chat.
Well, the globe is actually flat.
I'm just curious.
Hold on. Go ahead, Garb.
Wasn't it measured by the Greek guy?
Which one?
Using the relative position of the sun.
Oh,
I can't remember his name.
How is that done?
He had a guy. Well, he had a stick, a long stick, and he measured the angle that the stick made at a certain time at a certain date. Had somebody else way far south from him do the same thing, and the angles, the apparent angles of the shadows were different, meaning that the position of the sun was different for them. And from there, he was able to calculate why those angles would be different, and it was due to the shape of the Earth, I guess.
So he calculated how those two flat Earth elevation angle measurements with respect to a flat Earth being measured at two different locations make a globe. That would be two elevation angle measurements off a flat Earth, though. You don't get angles off curved surfaces. So we're measuring Earth flat in that example, specifically with angles.
What is locally, I guess. I would assume that, yeah, locally. Excuse me. He wasn't really measuring. Excuse
me. Just needed a yes.
Sure.
Your mitigation for that was the word locally. No, we're just measuring Earth flat at two different locations. It's not very local when there's two of them. No, at both locations, we're measuring Earth flat with angles. Both locations are flat, measured as such. It's not locally when there's two different locations. How local do you want to be in a different location? You're not local. Earth's measured flat for both. Just to go around your little mitigation you tried to temper that nonsense with. We weren't measuring Earth globe-shaped. You said, yes, I understand that, and then mitigated with the word locally. No, just to be absolutely clear, you and I understand on the other side of the grey area where we debate about these facts. No, we don't debate about these facts. We measure Earth flat. You understand that, don't you, sir? I'm just looking for a yes. Yes, I understand. I tried to mitigate it by saying it's only local. But facts. We measure Earth flat, don't we? Just need a yes. Don't seem to be getting the yes. Don't seem to be getting what I've taken my time. I've explained it. You told me your example. I listened to it. How we measure Earth flat with these elevation angles in two different locations. I've affirmed it. I've repeated it. I've pointed out how flat Earth must be to get those angles. I've dealt with your mitigation of it being locally measured flat. Just need a yes. You understand we measure Earth flat, don't you, sir? That's okay, I'll do it for you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen of my audience. We absolutely, unequivocally, without question, measure Earth flat. In that example, this bald believer gave us about, what, calculating out a sphere belief with those Earth measurements that were flat Earth angles. Yeah, we just measured Earth flat, though, didn't we? Like I declared right at the beginning of this show, you're going to need a flat Earth to measure for your bald belief. And there it is in that example. Elevation angles from a flat Earth, as per the measurements of Earth. Welcome to flat Earth. That's how we measure it. Next.
Just saying, Nathan, this is what happens when they don't realise they're doing it. They're trying to explain how curvature is measured and then telling us that it was an angle measurement, which has got nothing to do with
I'm measuring curvature. How are you measuring curvature there, sir?
Well, I'm measuring it with 2 flat Earth angles.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, locally measuring it all flat.
Sorry, do you believe in your deluded, globe-believing numpty mind that you were somehow measuring curve with these flat Earth angles? Because you're not.
Oh, but it's only local. We're only locally measuring Earth flat.
What, in 2 different locations? Silence. No affirmation. Just a, what, bald believer that's decided he doesn't want to take part in this conversation anymore? Gone to great lengths to explain how his misapprehension of measuring curvature was actually measuring angles off a flat plane. No response beyond the mitigation. That would be bullshit about local flatness being measured. Yeah, we're still measuring it flat even if it was just in one place. Still a flat Earth measurement. Hey, Chocolate.
That's hey, Chocolate. That's the I'm just saying, Nathan, that's the...
Hold on one deck. Chocolate. Hello.
Hey, Chocolate.
Morning, guys. How's everybody?
Very well. Did you have something you wanted to add, or just saying hello? If not, go ahead, one deck.
Yeah, go ahead, one deck.
No, I'm just saying, just a good example there, Nathan. This is what happens, but it's good just to let them... You don't really have to do any work now for them or for ourselves to explain how Earth's measured flat. You just ask them to explain it themselves, and they will actually be explaining how Earth is measured flat when they're thinking they're explaining how its curvature is measured. It's
only local.
It's
only
really,
locally
really
measured flat. It's only local.
Sorry, guys. I'm driving a garbage truck, and my partner had to come in for a couple minutes.
Fair play. You're a proper hard-working man. I'm sure you graft far more than I physically. Good on you.
Yeah, half the time I'm driving, half the time I'm loading on the back. So, sorry to explain. I guess, like I'm saying that he was measuring, like the way that he was measuring it flat is not really measuring flat, or he's measuring a tangent. Be a way of thinking of it.
No, you can't form an
Like
angle with a tangent. A tangent is a single point, isn't it? An angle is formed with 2 straight lines. A single point, no, that won't form an angle. If you're suggesting that the straight line is the line of tangency with the surface of Earth dangling beneath it, no, you're measuring an angle with respect to the surface
if you have 2
Why am I being interrupted
though,
in the
right?
middle of my statement? It seems like it's almost like I'm addressing this garbage of having a single point tangential to a surface we're now not measuring. We've just got a single point with an imaginary ball dangling below a straight line that goes out into space that we're not measuring. No, there was me thinking he was measuring angles with respect to the shadow on the surface of Earth. For the angle. Oh, he absolutely is. It's an elevation angle, as I already declared. But it seems that now we're measuring on a line that goes out into the middle of space with a dangling belief of a ball below it that only gives us a single point? No, sir. Angles aren't formed with single points on the ground. It's a line for the angle, not a tangent point to your ball that you believe is dangling below the line we actually measure that you've got in space. No, sir, we're measuring the surface, not a line in space to a tangent point that won't give you a line, to a dangling ball beneath it. You just deluded.
2 tangent lines, not just one, right? You can make, if you have 2 tangent lines. then
We're
you
not
can
measuring
follow
tangents, we're
the curve
measuring
between the two,
angles.
right?
Sorry, sir. The angle is an elevation angle, isn't it? Yes, it is, Nathan. Yes, we're measuring elevation angles to the sun. Yes, we are. Yes, it didn't need a load of babble through the top. It was just a simple yes or no that is absolutely answered in the affirmative. Yes, we're measuring elevation angles. Are we measuring elevation tangents? No, this has been inserted by you and it only gives you a single point, not a line, when we're measuring on the surface. You're not addressing that by saying, oh, 2 tangent points. No. If you believe we're measuring on the ball surface, oh, well, that won't give you an angle. So we're measuring on a tangent line. No, we're measuring on the surface.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. You're saying that what the Greek guy measured was the difference in elevation of the 2 places?
He's measuring an elevation angle of the sun with sticks and shadows. It is an elevation angle measurement, not an elevation tangent. That's just you inserting your fundy sphere belief into this angle with respect to the surface, 2 straight lines, not tangent points. He's not measuring tangent points. You've inserted that because you have a sphere belief, and to square this circle of measuring lines on the surface, you're saying he's not measuring lines on the surface, he's measuring lines on a tangent that has got nothing to do with the surface. The surface is now a dangling ball below a line that we're not measuring because it only offers a single point on the surface. Wrong. We're measuring elevation angles on the surface. If it's down a well, it's perpendicular to the surface. This is how we measure these elevation angles to the sun. It is a flat earth prerequisite. They are angles. They are not with respect to curves that dangle below tangents. They're measured with respect to the surface.
Okay, I'll try to I'll just strip away. I'll try to strip away the those assumptions that I have. The thing I'm interested in is I heard about a guy who measured, put a stick at a 90-degree angle at 2 different places, and the shadow cast by the sun was different in those 2 places. And so I'm just wondering, why would the sun's shadow be different in 2 locations?
90 degrees to the surface of a flat plane. Yeah, you're going to need a flat plane to make this assertion, and you're asking me a question beyond the measurement that is 90 degrees to the surface. You're going to need a flat plane. You don't have 90 degrees to anything on a ball, ever, anywhere. You don't get that on a ball. 90 degrees? What the hell's that on a surface of a sphere? I'm not done talking. You don't have 90 on a ball, ever. You do require it, though, don't you? Yeah, you get that from the flat plane these angles are measured from. Earth's flat. That's how we measure it. There are no exceptions, even when deluded people think they're measuring a ball with flat Earth prerequisites, like 90, that your ball will never give you, ever.
I mean,
okay, I'll assume a flat Earth. I'm assuming a flat Earth.
You're not assuming, Jack. You're measuring it that way. What do you mean you'll assume a flat Earth? 90's prerequisite to having a flat plane. It's not assuming it. You're measuring it. What do you mean you'll assume it? Do you think anything I've suggested is debatable? No. This isn't a debate. It's not requiring your assumption. That's how you're measuring it for your elevation angle proof, see? So what? So that you can claim you're measuring a ball, you'll assume you're measuring Earth flat for the angle? No, you're just measuring it flat. There's no assumption required here. That is how you are measuring it. It's a prerequisite. For your measurement that you appeal to for your ball, it's a prerequisite that Earth must be flat. For your measurement that you believed was measuring a ball, no, calculating a ball from flat Earth angle measurements to the sun in this instance. Earth's measured flat by prerequisite for your claim. Hope that's clear.
Okay, sure.
Welcome to flat Earth. Earth
I should
is
clarify, I'm not here to,
welcome.
try to prove you wrong.
Welcome to flat Earth. Earth is measured flat. Sure. Welcome to flat Earth.
Okay, so in the scenario where sun casts a different shadow in two different locations, why is that?
Producing an angle on a flat Earth.
Yeah, why is it produced?
Sorry, so at this point, as a flat earther, with you asking me about flat Earth measurements, there's nothing really for me to do here beyond me getting you to just repeat that you're going to ask me about flat Earth angle measurements and how we're measuring Earth flat. I'm done.
Yeah,
I welcomed you to flat Earth. You don't need to yammer through me with your repeat of the same question that used flat Earth measurements for your ball belief that we've just destroyed. Now we all are on the same level and we all understand that we're measuring Earth flat for your example. There's nothing more for me to do here, sir, other than to welcome you to the flat plane you dwell atop. You've got questions beyond that? Oh, who cares? We measure Earth flat though, don't we, sir? So as a flat earther, I don't really need to do anything else other than welcome you to the plane you've always lived on and measured. Okay?
Nathan doesn't understand 8th grade geometry. It's hilarious.
Sorry, Brenda has accused me of child abuse and said that my children should be taken away from me. Can you remove this scum of the earth from my presence immediately, please? Thank you. Frickin' eunuchs coming here telling me what's what.
I'm going to just repeat myself because, again, we've just demonstrated this guy's going on about these sticks, the angles, the 90-degree shadow on the surface of Earth. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with curvature. He's explaining how Earth's measured flat for us. He just doesn't understand it, or he's not comprehending it, or he's just in denial. But it's nothing to do with curvature measurement. So I'll just point out again, that's the second time it's happened already.
So yeah, in conclusion, as suggested and now proven, Earth is measured flat for everyone. There is no exceptions.
The globe is flat. Even the anti-flat earthers know that.
It's only locally flat. It's only locally being measured for angles that are locally flat.
That's funny, that.
But if I assume that flat Earth measurement I need to make is flat, then how do you explain how these flat Earth angles work locally flat on a ball?
They don't. They're just flat Earth angle measurements off a flat Earth.
But it's only locally flat.
Yeah, we measure Earth flat. That's a flat Earth that we're measuring, and there aren't any globe measurements. They all are derived from those flat Earth measurements. You don't have to like it.
It's like he said, he said, well, you're using the surface of Earth for that angle and the shadow. It's like, for that angle you're measuring. Well, all right, then, well, I won't use the Earth. I'll just use a tangent line, which is also not curved.
But I'm assuming there's a dangling dingleberry below that tangent.
Yeah, we haven't got a line, though. We're measuring Earth, and there's only a single point, and we haven't got a line anymore.
The tangent line in space.
No, we're measuring an angle off the surface.
Okay, I'll use 2 tangent lines.
2 tangent lines, locally flat. Globe, globe.
Yeah, we measure Earth flat. It's never changed. Nothing's different. The fact that you were all raised in this belief of the extrapolation based on those flat Earth measurements, that would be a ball that doesn't function in terms of any practical usefulness, then you can believe that all you like. But in terms of how we actually practically apply any measurement to Earth ever, for anything, it's always flat, because that's what Earth is. By demonstration with measurements, Always, without exception, like just happened. That guy wanted to tell me how ball-shaped it was with flat Earth angles at 2 different locations. Oh, joy! Yeah, just come away from the grey area of arguing about flat Earth. We've got facts. There's no disputing what I've said here. At all.
I don't know about you, but I was born with balls, so I believe in them.
I mean, I was born with balls too. By balls, I mean testicles, but that really has no bearing on the facts of how Earth's measured. But it's nice that you're keen. 109 people watching how keen you are about your balls. Well, it's been fun. Time's been flying by. 45 minutes of live stream. About 15 minutes left if anybody else has got any questions. Feel free.
Yes, I have a question.
Excellent. What's your name?
My name is Zeitzeuge.
One more time?
Zeitzeuge is my name.
I couldn't hear what you said.
I said Zeitzeuge is my name.
Zeitglugin.
Zeitzeuge.
Yeah, Zeitzeuge. So I was
Zeitzeuge, okay.
the last time, and my question basically was, why should like the government and all that tell you that the Earth is flat?
I don't know. Why don't you go ask them?
I mean, I don't know. For me, it doesn't make sense.
Shout out to Goldie for gifting memberships. Why are you asking me? Ask the government if you want to know a government-based question. I don't really understand why you're asking me that.
I mean, you believe that. Of course, there's a follow-up question. The only logical question after that would be why they do that, you know, and that's the interesting part for me.
Not really. That's an appeal to consensus fallacy. I mean, who cares what motivates it? It doesn't really matter.
I mean, it does matter.
I mean, it matters to you, but you could be asking.
It doesn't matter if the Earth. I mean, it doesn't matter if the Earth is flat or round. What does matter is why people tell you that. That's basically what really matters.
No, that's what matters to you. You're saying it doesn't matter if it's flat or round. Well, there is no contentious nature in that suggestion that there's a debate about it by you. There is no debate. It's measured flat. Now, further to that measurement, you can ponder why they might lie about. I don't care. I know how Earth's measured. It's flat. But you ponder why they might lie about being otherwise? I don't know. Ask them.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know you get on.
Yeah, let us know. When you ask whoever it is you think you need to ask why they would lie about Earth being a globe, feel free. I mean, I know how they made the globe. I know who originally came up with the idea of it and put it into elliptical orbital motion. I can show you in history where that idea was created and who created it. And the angles of a flat Earth they used to create it. I can show you all of that. So I know, in essence, where your globe belief came from through history, as it is documented. But why they would carry on that throughout the last 500 years / 300 years, depending on how you want to look at it, is your guess. Maybe you'll find out. Let us know if you do. Earth's measured flat, though, just so you know. Including, but not limited to, a flat Earth measurement requirement for the globe inference that I think you might think you're living on. You're not. That inference came from the Roman Catholic Church with flat Earth measurements to create it.
Yeah, I'm not even saying the Earth is not flat. I'm not even saying that. But I mean, it doesn't change anything in my reality. If the Earth would be like, I don't know, like a bowling ball or something, I don't care. But what really matters is why people lie to us.
Your reality already presents itself as flat, stationary.
Yeah, nothing changes in that regard.
reality.
Exactly, chocolate. It doesn't make any difference to you. We've been saying that on the show. There's a grey area of debate where people think there's some contentious nature of Earth. No, everyone always has dealt with Earth as a flat plane. It always is the case and always will be the case. The idea that there's a debate about it is crazy. And on the other side of that grey area, you've got staunch globe believers who are told, based on the measurements of Earth as a flat plane that is derived into ball belief, that they are actually on that reified ball created by the church about 500 years ago. You're not. Earth's measured flat. Who cares why they carry on that lie? Came from the church. It's been peddled down the line ever since. You now believe it's true. Or say it's inconsequential if you are on a bowling ball. You're not. That idea came from the church.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
the
one
church is
world
lying to
religion.
us. The government is lying to us.
Did I say that?
I don't know. Or they know the shape of the earth. They
Do
lie
they?
to us, or they don't know.
Well, yeah, like I said, go and ask. But you're making these assumptions and peddling them onto me. Like I've made any assumptions in this regard. I don't know. Are they
No,
lying
I'm
to
not
you? What
making
did
any
the
assumptions.
government tell you about being on a ball? I don't know if they're telling you that.
I mean, they are. That's basically what you get taught in school.
So it's the schools telling it you.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So there are lanes and paths that you can follow. Some of our flat earth brethren follow them. That is to say, here in Britain, you can approach the education secretary about why the hell they'd be teaching people throughout their school education right up until higher education that there's a force of gravity when it was superseded 109, almost 110 years ago. Well, you can do that. You can approach your ministerial equivalent in your country and ask them why they're educating their children with nonsense and show them why it's nonsense based on their own rhetoric. And hopefully you'll get through to them. Very slow turning cogs. Me, I homeschool. Then I don't have that problem. Then I get told this nonsense that's been disproven, like gravity being a force.
Does the gentleman think or believe that the government are lying?
Of course they're lying. That's all they do. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you think they're lying about the shape of the Earth, sir?
Zorg, do you think that you're being lied to by the government about the nature of Earth?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't even matter. I don't care if we've been to the moon or what shape the Earth is. It doesn't change my reality at all.
That's something new.
It has no impact on me.
Why do you keep bringing these new things up then? I don't care if they've been to definitely haven't been to the moon. It's a violation of a law of nature known as the second law of thermodynamics. If the sky was a vacuum...
But what matters to me is why they lied to us. That's the real question. Not if the Earth is flat or round. That
that's a different fallacy. That's called
about
yeah.
to waste time.
I got you. It's called an appeal to motivation.
No one
fallacy.
is gonna believe.
Okay, I heard you. I got you. I got you. You don't care about insert new subject matter that you're going to waffle through the reply about. Yeah, because you don't care, we shouldn't talk about it. No, you've suggested there's a moon landing. I was halfway through debunking that garbage that you don't care about but have brought up as a new subject by suggesting you don't care about it. Now I'm responding. There's a law of nature. It dictates how gas behaves. The gas we're breathing under high pressure must be contained. To suggest that there is no containment and a second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum above our head would infer that gas is not following that law of nature in line with entropic descriptions of dispersion. If the sky was a vacuum, where they claim to have traversed to go to the moon, then the gas we breathe would fill the space. We'd have never developed gas pressure. We'd all be dead. There is no trips to the moon. Repeatedly telling me what you don't care about and appealing to motivation fallaciously and also suggesting that you don't care or the actual facts of the matter about whether or not they have or haven't done something is irrelevant because what motivated them to do it is more important to you. Okay, well, it seems like you have a very low standard of fallacious reasoning, sir. Because who cares what motivated them? You're the kind of person that when finding out their wife is cheating on them, rather than just leaving them, you go, why? Why did you do it? Who cares? Why she did it? She did it. Who cares why they lied to you if you believe they lied to you? Know the truth, and then you can turn your back on the liars if you believe them to be so. Me, I don't care. I don't care if they lied. I know the truth. Why am I getting talked through? I know the truth. Earth's measured flat. The sky's not a vacuum. There you go. There is no trips to the moon. There's no trips to Mars. There's no satellites in a sky vacuum. The orbital motion they're claimed to be in was derived from flat Earth measurements by Kepler. The church gave you that garbage that you believe in, and anything that you tell me about it will be proven by the measurements the origins are based in. That's flat Earth measurements. So your nonsense waffle is irrelevant about moon landings and how you don't care about them. Well, I don't either, but I know they're not real because I know that the gas we breathe would fill the space they say they travelled through. Entropic law dictates it.
I don't think he heard a word you said because that little waffle was me unserver muting him, and he was still talking. I don't think he realised he'd been muted, and he was still talking in the background to himself.
Oh, I see. So having told me that he doesn't care about moon landings, it's only the appeal to motivation fallacy, he then continued to waffle incessantly because telling me that he doesn't care about something requires his non-stop waffle through the top of the response. I see.
Yeah, basically.
You're a dick.
I'll unmute him and see if
Sir,
he's
you're a
still
dick.
going.
Dick. You're a dick. Thank you for your question, dick.
I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just saying, yeah, I'm a flat earther myself. That's basically what I'm saying. But I don't understand why you hold these debates every day, and not going to the real question. And that's why people tell us that the Earth.
Okay,
the Earth is
I heard
round.
you the first 3 times. Can you shut your mouth and listen to my response? That's an appeal to motivation fallacy. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
Okay, so it's fallacious. Do you think we need it a 4th time?
No.
No. Okay, so shut up. Fallacious man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, Earth's measured flat and space is fake. The sky is not a vacuum. If it was, the gas we're breathing... There's his waffle. There's his chanting waffle. You're a dick. Dick. I'm talking to you, dick. You can't seem to tolerate it and need to start talking through the middle of me because you are a dick. Clear? You're a dick. I'll try and continue, hopefully without the dick interrupting for the 5th time, because apparently what's not important needs to be continually reasserted through the top of the address. Sky's not a vacuum. We'd all be dead if there was trips to the moon. The gas would follow the rockets into the sky vacuum, space for gas to fill. There is no space above our head, 10 to the minus 17 torr, with rockets and orbital motion. That orbital motion is derived from flat Earth angle measurements to the stars. You need a flat Earth to infer we're on a sphere with orbital motion. It came from the church. You're all deluded. Why you would be lied to about it is inconsequential. If you know the truth, Earth's measured flat and the sky is not a vacuum. How long have we been going live? Just under 1 hour. We've got 1 question squeezable into the hour, I reckon. Then we're going to be thanking the Discord server moderators for doing such a wonderful job. Hello, QE. Are you definitely doing a show tomorrow? Because I'll shout it out to my live audience if you are. 107 people watching. Bated breath to see if QE's doing a live stream tomorrow. He's so keen to get something under his wing and done with his audience that he wants to run an extra show that would be in the time slot of Ballbusters.
I don't know yet.
I won't promote it then. Maybe Be Here or Be Sphere on the Quantum Eraser channel tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK UK 7 p.m. Central Standard 2 p.m. Because there might be a show, but there might not be. So this might be for nothing, but it might be. You never know your luck. I think that's chewed up the last couple of minutes. Is anybody going to squeak in a question from the Discord server? Not, it's going to be time for thanks.
We don't train to time, we train to standard.
Yes. Indeed. But if no one's asking anything, there's no training to be done.
Facts.
Right, I'm going to wish everybody in the Discord server a massive thank you first and foremost, because they've all been awesome, as is always the case on a Friday, the least popular show of the week, even though I think it's the best quality flat earth debate, in quotes, with my claw hands that you can have. But if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Well, that was good fun. Thank you again, Discord server. I don't know if we're going to hang around for a little while, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, no problems.
Awesome. I really hope we get a Discord politics mod, whatever you call them, so that we can do it in a room. Because I think it does. Just people are more inclined to go. No, I do actually want to jump in and ask something. That wasn't terrible though.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of what Crit was talking about either. So obviously there's some issues with the stage stuff as well. So as soon as I know anything, I'll keep you updated.
Okie dokie. You get a different bunch of people either way, so it's still beneficial to a certain degree.
There's been some of the other guest channels that they just deleted, and people are saying it wasn't fair. They weren't given a platform like other topics were. Like some of the atheist or the LGBTQ or the vegan channels, they said these channels were given special privileges to run stages, to run events. So there's kind of like this thing where they're trying to figure out a method which said, hey, you can have a stage event if you get X number of participants or whatever, like a set standard that then people can't say there was fairness on behalf of the flat earthers or whatever.
Oh, they wouldn't want to be giving special privileges to flat earthers now, would they? Let's make sure it's all fair and equal and that flat earthers aren't getting anything beyond what anybody else would get. So who cares? We just need a stage. Oh.
Yeah, there was like a channel like called the Canadians, was like two Canadian dudes. You join the channel and they would just tell you about Canada. It's like the most boring channel ever, you know? And their channel got deleted and they thought it was unfair. How come they weren't given a stage? You're like, dude, like you can only talk about maple syrup for so long, okay?
Well, if Canada was a hot political topic, then fair enough. But if it isn't currently, then it's not surplus. It's surplus to requirements, right? In terms of political hot potatoes, flat Earth's right up there. So yeah, of course it deserves its own room. Does
I'm sure
Canada?
that most of them,
maybe not at the moment.
I'm sure too, most of them don't like us and the topic of flat Earth, but we are the most popular room in the entire politics server. We have the most hours.
Is that so? Did not know that.
Yo, Mr. Flat Earther guy.
Me, Nathan Oakley is my name.
Nathan Oakley.
Mm-hmm.
I have another question.
Okie dokie.
So, if the Earth is flat, what is like can you fall off the Earth?
Yeah, people fall off Earth all the time to their deaths. Yes.
What do you mean?
Yeah, people fall off cliffs and stuff. I don't really understand why I'm being asked this.
No, I'm talking about like the edge. There is an edge, right?
You think there's an edge?
I don't know. I mean, if the Earth is flat, there's probably an edge, right? Or is it like an infinity platform?
All right, show it me. Can you show me your edge you believe in? Why would you believe in this? That sounds crazy. Can you show it me your edge you believe in?
I mean, it's pretty logical, right? If the Earth is flat, if like a plate or something, there's of course an edge, right?
Now, that just sounds like stupid nonsense idiot flat earthers spew. Are you an idiot flat earther spewing nonsense that you can't validate? Sounds like it.
Yeah, maybe you can like give me like a valid example of a flat Earth. I don't know.
Sorry, can you show me your edge, your plate that you just suggested? Excuse me, I'm responding to you. Excuse me. Can you show me that which you've just claimed? You stupid idiot nonsense flat Earth garbage you spewed about Earth being a plate. Can you show me that stupid crap you just spewed? Your claim.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm asking you. You the pro. I'm like a noob, you know. I want to ask.
Do you not detect from my response how stupid your crap you just made up was? Because you can't prove it. So, I'm the expert. Yeah, I'm telling you how stupid... I'm telling you, as a response as the expert, how stupid that crap you just spewed was. I hope that's clear. Do you need me to reaffirm how stupid the crap you just spewed was? Because you can't prove it. So why spew it, idiot? Don't spew crap you can't validate here, idiot. Because you'll be told you're an idiot for it. Hope that's clear. Anything else? that you like to spew without being able to prove about plates that Earth aren't by your lack of validation?
Yo, what is you talking about? I'm not see. I'm not even saying that it's the like. It is like a plate. I'm asking you.
Sorry, did anybody other than this dick say that Earth was a plate? Raise your hand if you were the one that said Earth was a plate, or was it just this dick that is now lying about what he did absolutely unequivocally say and was told he was stupid for saying? Was it some other dick? Was other dicks in the room saying plate alongside you, dick? No, lying dickhead. Excuse me, lying dickhead. I'm still responding to you, lying dickhead. You were the only dickhead saying Earth's a plate. But what? There's other dicks around you that you're appealing to that aren't. No, you were the only dick saying that, you stupid dick. Don't lie. You said it. You're a stupid dick. You're not proving your plate you suggested. Like the dick idiot that makes stupid claims he can't validate. That you are. And intolerant in being demonstrated a dick. You keep yammering through the top of me pointing out what a stupid dick you are for asking about a plate you can't validate by suggestion. No, stupid dick. If you're going to claim it's a bleeding plate like you did, you better be able to back that crap you suggested. Okay, stupid idiot? Get another dickhead idiot flat earther with his stupid idiot notions of flat earth that he can't prove. What an idiot. No, we don't do that here, sir. We just appeal to the measurements of Earth that we can prove. We don't appeal to stupid nonsense that lots of other dickhead flat earthers like yourself suggest about Earth without being able to prove. Keep your stupid idiot flat Earth notions to yourself, sir. Okay? That's my expert opinion on what you said.
Crickets.
Otherwise known as...
server muted.
Otherwise known as, don't strawman me, bitch. You know what a strawman is? What, a little argument that I haven't made a claim about that you're going to burn like I have made a claim about some frickin' plate?
But wait a second,
It's called a strawman. It's called a strawman fallacy. That's what it is.
Okay, but
what I did with this yammering bitch talking through me as I demonstrate his fallacious logic that he tried to use on me was turned your attempted strawman fallacy into your claim. Because you were the only one saying it. Absolute justification in my turning of the tables when you attempted to strawman me. Didn't work. You ended up being berated for the stupid shit you said, didn't you, sir? Didn't expect that strawman to work that way, did you? Yeah, it's because I've dealt with plenty of idiot notions that you say I'm supposed to believe in. Yeah, I don't believe in that shit, but you said it, didn't you? Making you the dick suggesting that stupid nonsense, not me. But you'd have liked it to be me, wouldn't you? Because you tried to burn it as a strawman. Fallacy is all you've got, sir. Pathetic.
So,
I'm berating you for being pathetic, and I'm getting talked through. Yet me, with righteous indignation, the flat earther berating you for your stupidity. What am I getting in response? Oh, thank you for addressing my fallacious reasoning. I didn't realise how stupid it was. No, I'm getting talked through in conclusion. Yeah, you're not in a position to start yammering through my conclusion of how stupid you are by attempting to burn a straw man I didn't claim. Is that clear, dick? Pleasure to be here. I love Fridays. I love berating idiots on a Friday. It's so much fun. You stupid dick, you stupid dick glurfs. Thinking you can come and burn little straw men about plates in space. No, that's gonna go over with me, you stupid dick.
I mean, I was asking a question. I
was asking a question. No, you weren't. You were getting berated for being stupid by a flat earther. My name's Nathan Oakley, the guy with disdain in his tone because of how stupid you were. Remember my name, sir. It's Nathan Oakley, the one berating you. I'm a flat earther berating your stupidity. Let that sink in for a few seconds, sir.
I mean, I don't even take it.
I will stutter like a stammery little bitch in the face of being berated by a flat earther named Nathan Oakley. I will stammer and stutter. Yeah, you're damn right you will, glurf, bitch. You'll stutter, and stammer around every word as I berate your stupidity. That's what you'll do. I. Get a grip. You've just been berated by a flat earther whose name is Nathan Oakley. Let that sink in. Don't try and stutter and stammer about what I might do. Let that sink in, sir. Get a grip, take a breath, maybe try and form a full sentence without repeating I. Nathan Oakley's the name. Earth is measured flat. Your stupid nonsense about plates was put in its place, wasn't it, sir? Enjoy. Thank you for having us. It's been such a pleasure, as always. Nobody was talking to you, Glurf Dick. Thank you, moderators, for having us. It's such a pleasure coming on a Friday to berate your idiots that believe in a globe Earth. Tell us how it's measured flat and stuff. It's been really good fun. Thank you so much for having us, as always. Hope we can return.
All right. Thank you for coming. And of course, we've got to thank the rest of the FED crew as well, Nathan.
Again, AJ.
What? It's
sorry, and of course, we've got to thank the rest of the FED crew.
They're all bitching. They're saying it's too early. We need to go.
9:10. Has he Jedi mind tricked you into thinking that this is legitimate?
What? I have got a 2-hour show. It started off as a joke when things would go over and it'd be like, yay, 4 more hours, because it was a 4-hour show. It's a 2-hour show and I'm at 1 hour 51. So I want to go back to the other server so we can talk about how things went, unwind, maybe get a coffee, see how things go. But in the meantime, I've got to thank the politics server, so they're keen to have us back next week.
How things went? Don't give me that. How things went?
Yeah. A debriefing.
Dude, we don't need a debriefing from this. This is
definitely
nonsense.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then we need a debriefing from the debriefing.
Yeah, and an ever after show. I won't be there.
Hey, AJ, AJ needs to you need to contact me on Skype. We need to have a little talk.
Look, there's nothing to do with me. What QE does in the politics server, that's his business. But I'm going to thank you once more. You've all been awesome. Thank you so much for having us. See you next Friday.
I can't go into the politics server. I'm banned. The only way I can go in there is vicariously through this hangout.
But then you should just be grateful. Moaning about the time slot.
You just had one crayon muncher with a bad mic, and all you did was berate him for 30 minutes.
Fun. I enjoyed it greatly.
Briefing for that.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I enjoyed that immensely.
It's more or less the exact same thing as last week, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before.
You've only just got here, Brian.
The week before, and the week before.
Yeah, you've only just got here.
And the week before, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before, and the week before.
Somebody smacking me, stuck in that groove.
Being 2 o'clock London time and 3 o'clock London time for the past 40 million eons on a Friday. Now, the best days were the days when you allowed QE and other people in there. They were the best days. They were the memorable ones.
Now, what's the deal with the Greek gods? Talking to eons, right? Were the Greek gods like walking around on Earth like Zeus and stuff?
How will I know?
I don't know how they portrayed. I'm just intrigued. Like pre-biblical history. What's claimed to be the case? Are they claimed to be like Zeus, lightning bolts and all, walking around amongst us?
What the hell are you talking about? Who knows?
You're just trying to divert away from the talk about you taking off early from politics.
It's not a non sequitur fallacy. What are you talking about?
I heard you have an issue with me, by the way.
Say again?
I heard you have a little issue with me.
I've got multiple issues with you.
Well, let's hear them out.
You smelly. You generally uncouth. You're not on time. You take credit for other people's work. You go on and on and on at great lengths. You're very inconsistent with what you do say. You often get things wrong. Just once, but we'll labour that. Now, what is your issue? I'm distracting intentionally. In all seriousness, what do you believe is my issue with you?
Well,
no, I just happened. My issue.
Well, I'm not talking about Neil's issue. No, I just happened to mention that DITRH, David Weiss, commented on the presentation on pitch data I did on flat sides and said it was a really great presentation. And he didn't mention me, flat side mentioned me about it, concerning it. And I was just stating that the pitch data is getting out there, right? People are seeing it. Now, David Weiss can't pretend he didn't see it. He has seen it. He can't deny it. He can't go around saying the Earth's a really big ball. He's seen the pitch data.
Can he not?
That doesn't mean he won't do it. Doesn't mean he won't do it, but he's seen the pitch data. So he has, without a shadow of a doubt, flat out proof.
What's this got to do with me? I have no idea how this has anything to do with me. Great, that sounds
because
wonderful.
You wrote a little comment, right, trying to demean that.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. And I
wrote nothing. What are you talking about?
There was no response from you.
I didn't write anything. I've never written anything ever.
You did. You woke up in bad humor and you attacked that. And then I put up this stupid shorts video. You just had this really good little thing with a syringe in it. The stupid thing. And you started going, they're not experiments. It's like, of course, wow, they're not experiments. It doesn't matter. Did you see the thing with the syringe? That's all.
Do you hear that? Do you heard it? You all heard it. He pointed to the experiments that they said they were. And he said, it doesn't matter. You all heard it. See, I knew it. I knew it all along.
Matter what some stupid idiot on a shorts video said. I was just trying to show the thing with the syringe, which was it was a brilliant. I never saw that before. I thought you'd go, wow, that's really great. Now
I will never call them experiments. You won't make me call these experiments. I'm not having it. No.
Look, you woke up in a bad humor and you decided to attack me.
What did I say? Read out verbatim the comment that you take umbrage. Forget about this stupid experiment thing. Yes, it was just that was for humorous effect purely because I knew it'd get your goat.
Yeah, I will.
That was definitely for humorous effect. However, I can't remember what mood I was in when I wrote that comment or what I said. So if you read it out, I'll tell you what tone I was in if it was humorous or not when I hear it back. I can't remember.
Okay, I'm going to read what I wrote first. At all, this is in ball busters. The chance I took going over the flat sides to do the presentation has paid off, I think. As Dirt has seen it, DITRH has seen it and commented on it being a great presentation. So even though he's just a true earther, hopefully this will bring the pitch data extra attention. If someone could share the ball busters presentation with Mark Sargent, that would be excellent also. That was pointed towards you. Right. So what I should have got from you was you being Nathan was, yeah, I totally share that with Mark because me and Mark are friends with yours. Instead, what I got was cool. It could be a really big ball. Dave's approval, eh? How wonderful. Right. So right, I went, no, it's that people. My response is no, it's that people like him who don't watch Ball Busters will see the pitch data and hopefully to further their own agenda promote it because it just hanging around on QEs and my channels is not enough. This needs promoting. The final experiment gets enough promoting, doesn't it? Question mark.
That's what he's here for. It's not an experiment. See, he's a shill. It's not an experiment either, like the syringes. He's just here to muddying the waters.
The syringes.
Right. No, actually, I've spoken to David Weiss about this, and he said, quote, total lie, it's not a quote. Yeah, it's an excellent presentation. Could be a really big ball. End quote. Not really a quote, I just made it up. David Weiss.
I thought somebody would have said, and I thought you would have said, that's great. It's great that it's getting out there. But that's not what I got. I got smart ass comments.
Okay. Did you hear what I was talking about with the grey area earlier?
No, I didn't hear any of that. I just heard the usual things that I hear on politics.
I'm going to suggest that this is being put into the grey area, which is why I'm less than enthused about it. I don't care about David Weiss. Who cares? I've kind of forgotten about him. When he gets mentioned, it's like when I see it in comments, right? My overall enthusiasm for David Weiss's enthusiasm for your thing was irrelevant because all I saw was his name, and immediately what I put in quotes could be a really big ball. End quote. That isn't a real quote. To someone asking if Earth is for sure and without a doubt flat. Anyway, that's just what my mind goes to when I see his name now. I can't help it. But in terms of it getting out there, right, because I didn't address that, probably because I had just woken up not in a bad mood or anything, but it's good. Yeah, great. I'm delighted. It's getting out. Flatswords, when you told me you were going on it, I was like, good. It's getting it out there. That's all that matters. If Dave Weiss picks up on it and repeats it, even if he's using Angels of Light version, rather than yours or Ballbusters, who cares? As long as it's getting out there, it's really good. Chef's kiss, right? It's best evidence there is. So I'm elated that it's getting out there. If Dave Weiss reuses it correctly, I'll praise him, absolutely without question.
Yeah, it's not the fact that he commented on that presentation. Doesn't matter it's him, but just someone who's known and been around with a few years and has a big channel commented on that presentation.
Oh, here we go.
Right? No, hang on.
Now you've said too much. Did it give you a warm and fuzzy feeling that big old David Weiss Flat Earth Dave gave you a little comment there?
No, I'm trying to get around you and that leave me finish.
He's really big, isn't he? Very popular. Nice that you got a comment from. I'm so pleased for you.
No. Listen, I'm not the one who was Dave's special friend for years.
Special friend? He was just like you. Well, in no difference to you. I'm no more Dave, or no more Dave Weiss's special friend than I am yours. I'm not your special friend, am I?
You were Dave's special friend, Nathan,
and I'm your special friend too, Brian. We're special friends.
Really great.
You and I together, special friends. We'll be friends forever, Brian. Shake there.
Now, I have to bring up something, right? I'm not happy with Banjo because that presentation is out there on Ballbusters for the past couple of weeks. Now, he is on, if it's anything to do with flight, he's on it like flies on the proverbial.
He covered it. Right? He put it on with Angels. Right. It was the first frame of his video, wasn't it?
He didn't do it with Ballbusters. He didn't do it with the original presentation. Now, he could have, and I even told him about the original presentation in his comments on the one he did do it on, right? And he didn't respond to it, right? That particular part, he never responded to it. But I also wrote something about ether as someone in there, and he responded to that trying to tell me what ether was. So I just want to make it clear that I'm not trusting of Banjo at all.
Right. Well,
so is
he an etherite?
Yeah. Good question.
So what's ether? He said, what's ether then? What did he say ether was?
Banjo tell you what ether is?
Some medium high up in the sky or something like that. I can't remember verbatim. It was something to do with a medium.
A non-material one?
Well, I pointed out to him that mediums need to be physical. But anyway,
that's a yes. So this is Banjo saying this to you. So isn't it? Hold on. Let's just establish the lay of the land. Hold on, Kiwi. So is it Flat Earth Banjo giving you these responses?
Yeah, he didn't address what I said to him about the presentation. He didn't say, "Oh, I didn't know about that." He never told me he didn't know about it. He never said, "Oh, I'll have a look at that now," like that. But he did when I responded to someone else who brought up ether, right? Or basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Inferred ether, and I pointed out something to them. He felt the need to respond to me.
Yeah, fine. I got that. Okay, well, let me just offer a suggestion, right? You're saying he didn't put the Ballbusters presentation, which is superior to Angels, as much as you might take offence to that. Yours was superior. It's the origin of all the information. It's attacked from 3 different angles that make it airtight. There's a lot of things in that would have been beneficial to Banjo, and I agree with you. First, I just want to get that out of the way. I could jape about it. I'm not going to. Just get that out of the way. However, we attack ether quite vehemently. Therefore, as an etherite, he, as a proponent of flight as a demonstration in the most part when he's doing his presentations, right, is going to want to incorporate it. And he has. He's incorporated it via Angel's presentation. Now, I can understand and empathise why he might not want to use us directly if he's an etherite, because we're staunchly against it. Now, because it's your origin, he's obviously going to allow your comments and stuff, and he's had a little tete-a-tete with you about what? Flight data? No, ether. But that in itself should tell you that it's good that Angels is out there using this and showing how good it is, because people don't want to use our stuff, do they? Why? Well, because
No,
we
they
challenge
don't.
them on other stuff. That's why.
Well, exactly. People don't want to use our stuff, and that's part of the reason. That's basically, and this is what Michael said to me, or was it Michael? No, it was Tinfoil Hat Man said. Maybe Michael Khan said it to me as well. That if you do that thing on flat sides, that there's going to be people see it who won't see it on Ballbusters and FED because they're not watching Ballbusters and FED. You know what I mean? And they won't, and even if they are, they won't address something that's on Ballbusters or FED. And this is the thing about it. I cannot believe for a moment that Banjo was not aware of that presentation.
No, he won't be.
I find that difficult.
Hold on. This is cause and effect, right? When we are moaning and bleating 18 months ago to a year ago, say, about being bad-mouthed for being scammers when we challenge Ether, then that's going to have a knock-on effect. When you say, I can't believe these people don't watch these, but no, they've been told by their gurus, who are challenged by us, that we are scammers. So people tune out. It has an effect. Now, the effect that it had on me was less and less every time they did it, because they did it multiple times, starting with Bob. And it meant that the audience got pared down to more realistic and dedicated people who like the evidence that we present as we present it. But that doesn't alter that from a YouTube point of view, and I said this a couple of days ago, what we do is not conducive with YouTubing. When a guy comes along and goes, I'm a supporter, I love your show, I've given you super chats. I've got this experiment that I'm going to do. I wonder if I could pass it by you. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this balloon in this vat of lead and I'm going to extrapolate how Earth is flat from it. What's your hypothesis with that there? Non-natural garbage. Garbage? I'm a supporter. I'm a flat earther. Yeah, you're not doing an experiment, though. You're abusing this term. Abusing? How dare you? I'm not going to support you anymore. How dare you tell me that my experiment's wrong? It's not conducive with gaining an audience, is it? Now, being a cuck and pandering to the audience will garner lots more people who watch you. And there's a sliding scale. At the one extreme, you've got Dan, who can't raise money for a bit of equipment from his audience because they're not interested in his GoFundMe, because they have next to no passion beyond affirmation bias that they achieve when they get there. In the middle somewhere, you've got the Witsits and the Gerrans and the people who are calling us scammers in the grey area. And at the other end of the extreme, we've got us just talking about facts and flat earth measurements and people who appreciate that, but they don't get the fantasy element. Well, they're a lot more dedicated and will actually support us. So we've got small channel, lots of dedicated supporters versus big channel with people who are kind of indifferent to us and kind of supportive of their ether belief because it keeps the fantasy going. You know what I mean? And at the other end of the extreme, you just got the normies that go to Simon Dan because they've heard that there might be a flat earth in play, and then they find out there isn't because Dan told them that, and then they get on with their day.
Yeah, I understand all that, and that's the thing about it. That's what see. I've had issues though with, and so has Divergent Droid with Banjo, even in recent times, where we've had our comments removed or just not shown on his channel when he was going on about maps and stuff, and we were pointing out stuff to him. He was trying to say that Gleason's map is a correct map of the world, and I was trying to point stuff out to him about the Gleason's supposed map, which it's not. And he didn't want to know about it. And Divergent Droid had his comments removed as well. It's just like Banjo has a little agenda going on. And part of that agenda is ether. Now, all that I'll put aside, if he had just been honest and just gone to the Ballbusters presentation and we've done a thing on that, even just mirrored the thing. But I even told him just try mirroring the Ballbusters presentation. And I didn't get, he gave it a heart or whatever, the comment, but he never responded to it. He didn't, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, Banjo, we're not stupid over here. You know?
He's worried about the politics. He's got a whole bunch of people that are on his side that are being shoved their way by bigger channels, the ones that you suck up to, like Dave Weiss, and he wants to keep them on side. If he mirrors
your special friend, yeah.
if he mirrors an FED video, FED bad. That might make him bad. Ballbusters, no, he's not going to mirror that.
That's why I wanted, instead of smart-ass comments off you this morning, I wanted to hear, I'll share that Ballbusters presentation with Mark Sargent. That's what I needed to hear, not some smart ass comments about
Okay, I'll send it to Mark.
About me being David Boyce's fan.
Why don't you? You know, Mark is receptive to everything, right?
Yeah, but I don't know Mark.
Why don't you
know
ask Mark if you can go on his show and talk about pitch data?
I'm okay with that, yeah. Absolutely.
Just ask him and he'll
How will I
absolutely.
do that?
I will say with 100% confidence that if you ask Mark if you can go on his show and tell him about pitch data, without question, he will say yes. You will go on Mark Sargent's Strange World or whatever show he decides to label it, basically on the Mark Sargent YouTube channel with whatever heading he gives it, to talk about pitch data. Just do it. If you want Mark, Mark will do it. Me going to him, I won't serve the argument as well as you could. You know that, I know that.
I was only looking for you just to share it with him, just so
I will do that.
To look at and maybe
yeah,
promote.
let's just get that out of the way. Yeah, I'll do that. I will share with that Ballbusters on your channel with him, Mark Sargent, and preemptively tell him that you'll be in touch because you want to be on his show to tell him about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does he could promote it as part of the thing, me going on there and going through it with him. He could have a look at it and then go on there, go through it with him and his audience, and he could then promote it from there. You know, absolutely, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, just drop him a line. I'll drop him a line when I get a chance to send him your channel so he knows exactly who's going to be contacting him and tell him that it's a mirror. Or whatever. I'll just inform him of the score that you're going to be wanting to talk to him about it more because it's awesome. But in the meantime, doesn't stop you getting in touch with him immediately if you wanted to. You've got his contact info.
I don't want to.
Oh, well, I can remedy that on Skype immediately.
Yeah, just send me an email or something. I can send it. Because I've never contacted him.
Well, I'll do that now. I'll sort that now. Just if you can talk amongst yourselves without moaning that I'm not running my own show because it's something for you.
Well, as a paid member now, to be quite honest. Anyway, I let it go.
Yeah, I'll just send him your contact info if we can just keep the conversation going with the...
Yeah, will do. With Quantum Eraser and Neil and everyone.
I'm meeting. That was my John Stunder impression.
How are things, everybody?
Wonderful. So glad you asked, Brian.
Talking about Etherite, she's created a monster over here, Flatsy Klein. Man, she's like a soldier on a mission. She's not even waiting for Ether to be mentioned. She's hunting them out of the servers and calling them out.
I sure am.
She's pretty good, isn't she?
I got a mission.
She's fired up.
Are we still in politics server?
No.
I snuck across.
Shocking.
I'm about to head to a festival all weekend. That's how things are here.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the last year that they're doing it, and we've gone every year, so it's kind of like a tradition thing.
So you're celebrating heaters?
Furnace Fest. It's, I don't know, it's like this big old furnace in the middle of Birmingham, Alabama. So.
Okay, so I've sent you his contact information and I've sent him a message, or I'm about to send him a message. Hi, Mark, an FED panel member. Notice how you've been categorized as a panel member. Brian's Logic wants to talk to you about pitch data. It's the chef's kiss of FE proof. And then I'll put a link to the Ballbusters video on your channel. And I've sent him your contact info.
Who? Mark Sargent?
Excellent.
Yeah.
He watches. He's in my channel. He's the first one. Anytime I post anywhere in my channel, he is the first one to look. So I don't know if he's watching the videos, but he's definitely right on top of any video I drop. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. I'm sure Mark is
I
watching. He
didn't
pays
say-
attention.
I
He's
didn't
got his
say
ears to
you
the
did
ground.
dispute it. I didn't say you did dispute it. I'm asking why are you giving his address out? He's on my channel. Just talk to him on my chat. Brian, are you in my channel on Skype?
Of course I am. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just contact him there.
I've
He's
sent
always
him.
there.
Don't listen to Q.
Well,
He's just trying to segregate you from the big names. He doesn't want you getting too cozy. I've sent him your contact info, Brian. It's all good.
Well, he tried to defend me from David White.
He's trying to just keep Mark all to himself. You go through my Skype chat to talk to Mark. He's in that group with me.
Hey, somebody just wanted to beat me up over flat Earth.
We want to beat you up, and you're on our
so.
side, Neil.
No, I had the speaker on, and you were berating the guy, and it was a guy I worked with before that I was talking a little bit about, and they were mocking me. So I think it's getting under their skin to the point where they want to beat you up.
Okay.
Go on the pitch data presentation. That'll really, you'll really need to defend yourself then.
No, it's not that. Neil's, I think from what Neil's just said, reading between the lines, he's suggesting when me saying, I'm a flat earther, I'm berating you for your stupidity, that would get their goat up, right, Neil?
Yeah, then they want to beat me up.
Oh, let's hope they don't.
So just beat them up.
So if they do beat you up, does that mean that the Earth's a globetard?
Yes. Yes, I think that's correct.
Well, it makes them feel better, but you know what he looks like? Remember Mike Tyson's Punch Out, the bald bull? That's what the guy looks like. I'm not messing with him.
Yeah. Just say, nah, it's a bull.
So why do you want to beat me up? You're the one who doesn't want to believe your own senses. What the hell's wrong with you? that sounds like a personal problem.
Well, he says, you know, it's a consensus thing. We're the only right ones out of the whole world, all the scientists, all the teachers. You know, it's one of those type of guys.
I just agree with him. If he's going to kick your head in, just say, yeah, you're right, yeah. And if he pushes you, as in, no, I don't believe you, just saying that to placate me, then say, no, you take these elevation angle measurements between, what is it, Cyan and, what's the other one? Petra or somewhere, I don't know. Where's the two locations that it's claimed to be at? There's a well in Cyan and... Alexandria. Rattle that off. In other words, rattle off what we would demonstrate Earth's measured flat with, because it's part of the globe claim, isn't it? Just give them that. You know that what you're telling them is Earth's measured flat. Just don't overtly state it. Well, they calculate Earth to be a ball by taking these elevation angles at Cyan and Alexandria, don't they? And when he goes, yeah, you know, you've just told him Earth's measured flat. He thinks you've just told him it's a ball. Bob's your uncle.
He isn't going to know anything about that. He's probably a mouth-breathing knuckle dragger. Get him on the show. I'll deal with it.
Exactly. Chewy hit it right in the head. It'd be lost. I tried to appeal with angles because he does contracting work with me, but he's lost in the sauce. This appeals to consensus, and we're stupid flat earthers, Sam.
Really? Well, have him come on the show.
What are you doing talking to your workmates about this? Do you want to get fired?
No, he's not in a position. He's not in a position to fire me. He could have got fired. He put his hands on me.
Yeah, but you don't want to be living it. You don't want to be in that kind of fear,
just show
though.
him the pitch data. That's the end of that. Tell him to go off and solve that with the aerospace industry.
You guys are not. You're getting the point here. You think appeal to thug with pitch data. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I find that when thugs are threatening, if I just appeal to them with reason and logic, they tend to stand down. The thugs.
I'm assuming, of course, but it was in a real hot debate you were just having, or just berating, call it what it is. And he's hearing it. So then he turns around and says, "Whose bag is this?" in one of the rooms when he knows it's mine. And one thing led to another, and he wanted to beat me up. But it was because of what he was hearing. Fact.
Unreal. Brian's battery die or something.
Why not just be like, why? I don't understand. Why would you want to beat me up? Like, just because you're not able to prove that we are currently sticking sideways to the side of a magical spitting water ball flying around in a vacuum. That's not my fault. What do you mean?
Plato's Cave, chocolate.
You don't
Plato's
like that.
Cave.
Yeah, that's spot on, Neil. Absolutely spot on.
What did Neil say out of here?
Said Plato's Cave.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've
I don't
ventured out
feel
from
that.
in the cave, and now you're talking about it amongst the others in the cave. And they're like, "What are you doing? Talking about the outside that doesn't exist? Shut up about the outside, or I'll beat you up."
Wait, are we still in the politics server?
No, we haven't been in there in years.
What?
Oh, we haven't. All right. Okay.
What are you, AJ? Chop liver?
Just wondering
That's
why
all
we're
right.
not getting slapped upside the face with proof that we live on a magical spinning water ball currently flying around in a vacuum. Why is there no proof of that? Why there should be a line of Glovers waiting.
I
don't understand.
heard
I don't get it.
hundreds this week. Yeah,
What this week?
I heard hundreds apparently.
Hundreds of what?
Evidence for the globe. It was a very interesting week actually. One of our other mods from the server is running a show on X in a space or something over there. So I was in there, and what he's done is Globe Story Hour or Globe Story Time, where they get the floor opened up to them to explain their globe however they like. Just give us their evidence. No one to rebut, no one to say anything until they're completely finished. And oh my gosh, it's insane what you hear. That was
Oh,
two
well,
of them I gave you earlier.
It's nice they get a place to be. Good for
Oh,
them.
don't worry. We then get our turn to respond, and they have to shut up for our response. Yeah, just and give us the same courtesy as they were given in the first instance. But they put their foot in their mouth every single time. If they can even get to the globe proof, half of them can't even get past the flat Earth. All they want to do is continue asking questions about the flat Earth rather than presenting any sort of proof. And the rest of them, you just let them speak for a little bit, and wow, unbelievable.
Globe Story Hour. That's actually adorable.
It sounds like modern day debates from what people tell me about the format there, but extended ad infinitum. You know, you've got as long as you want to go through your rhetoric unchallenged. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Like, not make a claim, and if it's fallacious, you'll get interrupted to point that out, rather than going through the endless cycle of putting that fallacious logic to tape. Or you can have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes uninterrupted to waffle through your nonsense. And what I've got to sit there with a notepad writing it all down, have I? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you just let them go
That's
forever,
actually what's been happening. Yes, the notes have been taken, and then they go back through, and the flat earthers get to review the notes that were taken in regards to what claims were made. But
yeah, I couldn't do that.
Very interesting.
I don't even have a desk I don't have a keyboard. I've got a little tiny little circular desk that attaches to me, and it's got my mouse on it.
Do it even if I were there. Stop them right dead in their tracks. They got Jedi mind trick by modern day debate horse shit. Well, I'll give you 15 minutes. Go ahead. 15 minutes with a carpet bomb barrage of fallacies and baseless assertions. Yeah. What do you got to say to that? Piss off.
Yeah, that's exactly my. So what? You scattergun indefinitely with no rebuttal? Okay.
Of course, it's been entertaining. I heard today that another reason that the Earth can be proven as a globe is because the sun sets under the water.
Oh boy.
Oh, they get to spew their straw men too.
Yep.
Oh,
The sun sets what?
Funny, actually.
Sun's under
Sun
the
sets
water.
under the water.
Presumably on a flat Earth, they're saying sun would be under the water, which makes Earth a globe because it isn't under the water.
Wow. Wow.
No, they were claiming that the sun sets under the water. That's how they know it's a globe.
Of course it does.
Right?
Wouldn't the ocean light up if it did that?
No, he's saying that the sun goes behind a physical geometric spheroid horizon, formerly known as Earth curve. That's what their abbreviated goes under the water means in their terminology.
Nah, it's cooler to say
So they're
that the sun
saying-
just went up water. I mean, it makes just as much sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all.
No.
Exactly.
We're talking about a globe hour. None of it's going to make any sense. If it did make sense, it would start with the origin of the measurements that create the globe, like we talk about. Well, none of them are going to get there, are they? So it's going to be fantasy hour.
Oh yeah, it's fantasy hour. Yeah, that's what it's called. Globe fantasy stories or something like that. Where they get to tell their story, their fantasy story on how they know it's a globe. Like I said, they
so
they
sweet that
struggle
got
to even
somewhere to
get
go.
that story out.
Bless.
They give them the whole stage, and they just don't know what to say. They've got nothing, and usually ends up in an attack on flat Earth.
How come they get a stage? This is unreasonable. If the LGBTQ get a stage and the Globers get a fantasy, I want a stage.
Not an actual stage, but yeah, they get the microphone to speak.
I was only joking.
So to speak, in front of everyone.
So, gentlemen, we're going to be doing the book later. By gentlemen, I mean whoever stays in the hangout. I'll start a new one, though, because we're doing it in about 3 hours' time, 3 hours and 10. There's lots of rumble about it. People in the comments talking about the book, you know. So people are keen to buy it, which is nice to hear. Although Brian's just buggered off, the fact that the pitch data will be in the book should hopefully alleviate Brian's concerns that it's not getting promoted enough. Something special about having information on a page in a book. I don't know why. It just gets that much more respect. Is it just
we're going to go over the way we're going to put that in the book, by the way.
Pitch data?
Talked about that. Yeah,
Well,
we can't throw pitch data in the book and say, there you are.
That's finally where I can actually do a bit of work, right? It's where I can start describing it in my own words with Brian and you and Adam alongside to say, no, that needs to be phrased thusly. But I can easily rattle off the importance of it and how it's come to fruition and how we were asking for the information. Notice how it's become we.
There's no problem with that. I don't have an issue with it, but we're going to have to discuss the technique on how we're going to do that.
Right. We spent years asking Wolfie for the data, and then eventually one of the Globe Believers.
No,
it was just Brian asking, but we did spend years asking.
Where is Brian? I do have an issue with him.
That's amazing.
I've got several. However, the man does deserve riches and fame and credit. Let's not forget that.
Nathan, what
I
does
don't
one
think
have
it
to
was
do to get a
appropriate for him
signed
to say
copy of a book,
something
man?
like that.
Oh my God, Neil, bro.
Oh my God, Neil. Go on, Mush.
Nathan, did you hear my question, bro?
Not at all.
What does one have to do to get a signed copy of a book?
That's something I don't
Is
know
it
because
possible?
from what I'm aware, the only way I could do it would be for me to order it and physically sign it and then post it on to the person that's ordered it with worldwide shipping, which could end up being horrendously expensive because it's just produced where it's ordered from and then shipped out from there, having been produced to order. So, yeah, you can purchase soft and hardback, paperback and hardback, from like Amazon or wherever this other site will be. But I mean, I'm sure I could arrange that if there was enough demand. I doubt there would be.
But where are they going to get Adam's and my signature from?
From you, on your book, when you write yours.
Send the same book to each person and sign it one by one.
No. And all proceeds will go to me. They won't. They'll be just split with the distributor. But
And on a different note, just in case anybody's interested, Will Duffy had his podcast with that shorty Elizabeth. I guess he brought her on
Yeah,
just to shoot down the accusation. Was that?
We watched it.
yeah, we watched it and critiqued it.
Oh, okay. Oops, sorry.
No, you
Fair
wouldn't
enough.
know that we'd watched it. We watched it as soon as it came out, like within a few hours of it being live. Kiwi had it up instead of doing the book, distracting everyone with it.
And that other video that somebody shared on Friday, Nathan, that they said they shouted you out, and somebody just sent me another comment. They saying like the guy literally sounded like you. He was all about measurement, shooting down the claims of anything flat Earth has to do with the beliefs, anything like that. So that was the video that was recommended for review on Friday. So that may be something for Monday, right?
Yeah, the one we were going to do yesterday. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd got it all queued up. We just ended up having a very good conversation, and then 10th Man arrived. So, yeah.
Exactly.
It was good. We didn't need to cover a video. But we will. We'll cover that on Monday. It did look good from what I was told, not from what I watched. It made no sense for the 20 seconds I watched it, but I'm sure it will. There was a potato talking.
Yeah, same here. I didn't watch it, but I heard people telling me it must be reviewed. You guys got to watch it. So I was like,
Yeah, sure.
alrighty.
But off the bat, it just looked a bit weird with a potato. But there we go. I mean, I'm sure it's great. We'll respond to it on Monday. Is there something wrong with this hangout? People keep dropping from it. Brian's gone now. Neil's gone.
It's highly presumptive of you. How do you know that you'll be here Monday?
I could be hit by a bus. If I was, I'd feel like I'd lived a very, very fruitful life. I like to live that way. That is to say, if I wake up one morning and go, oh no, if I died tomorrow, it'd be such a shame I didn't do this. Like, well, you need to be doing that then. Pretty sharpish, just in case. Is it St. Peter, metaphorically, if I was to meet St. Peter tomorrow? Is it St. Peter? At the pearly gates?
Not St. Peter, just Peter.
Peter. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to think that tomorrow, if I was hit by a bus, I'd be quite happy with what had happened to date. And I strive to do the same for my kids. That is to say, if one of them was to befall a terrible accident tomorrow, I'd like to think that every moment that they did have was absolutely amazing. As they're screaming their friggin' heads off in the background. My God. Can you hear that?
No.
Good. My noise cancelling mic's doing its job. I'll be accused of harassing them or beating them or something. They've reached an age where they're fighting with each other now.
Nice.
Not at all. Two girls fighting, man. It bursts my eardrums. Seriously, it gives me a massive headache when they're yelling at each other. Anyway, this isn't very much fun. I'm going to round out this stream. With that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels, and another massive thank you to the Politics Flat Earth Debate 24/7 Discord server for having us today and making today's after show possible. Also, a massive thank you to all of you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.